Welcome in,
Hey.
everybody. Welcome back. Gymbreakers is here. So excited. I'm breaking my desk already. We have for you a wonderful amuse-bouche in a trio of streams we're going to have coming up from Gymbreakers this week. We are starting with the Diamond Finals. This is the second level playoff finals here in this Gymbreakers format, in this World Cup format. But we got a lot to do to get you set up for that properly. You got to be able to appreciate the people who are bringing this to you, who you're going to get to know over these next few hours as we take you through Mexico versus Chile in this Diamond Final. If you're here, you already know who I am. I don't have to say very much. If you don't know, I am Final Boss AJ. I am the queen of Gymbreakers. I am the queen of ice, the battle angel, Athena, whatever you want to call me. You know I'm going to be here because this is what I live for, calling these matches in this Gymbreakers World Cup. And I'm joined with three very talented casters in their own right. We're going to go clockwise from me, because I'm the important one. We're going to go up above me, the other girl that PvPs a part of this casting panel. I am so excited to get the chance to cast with her finally. The lovely and talented Silph is on Gymbreakers here. Silph, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks so much for that kind introduction. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. It'll be my first time casting Gymbreakers, but I'm excited to see these battles and I'm excited to be here with all of you.
Heck yeah. So excited to have Soph here. Now, to be fair, Soph and I have North America covered. I'm Canadian, Soph is American. We're good on that. But this is Mexico against Chile. It's a Latin American showdown. So to make sure that it's not just me and Soph looking down at Latin America and just being like, yeah, it's true, this is fine. We have got one caster from each side, from each country, representing their compatriots, going to make sure that their voices are heard. We're going to start with the Chilean perspective. In the top right corner, we have Swaggeron. Swaggeron, what is up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. I was missing. I really miss casting. I haven't cast in a long time, so casting something like a Gymbreaker match that there's so many of my friends involved. It's like really cool, and I really like the friendships and rivalry that this kind of things create. So multiple friends from all over the world can compete each other and have this kind of instances that gave us huge matches, huge memories or something like that. So thank you for having me and let's have fun.
That is a very professional response, Swaggeron. We'll see how long that lasts once we get into the heat of battle. But as we have the Chilean perspective, we also have the Mexican perspective, a veteran of the showcaster scene. You might have seen him on Friday Night Fights before. Jolt019 representing Mexico. What is up, Jolt?
Hello, thank you very much for having me here. Same as Swaggeron, I was very eager to cast again. I felt it has been a long time since I have been with such a wonderful and talented set of casters. Same with as my friend, I have a lot of friends that I know in real life also playing here, and this rivalry has history. It's been, I think, since the beginning of Silph, when it was Angelino versus Ventusky, the rivalry began, and we are so excited to be here to cast. Thank you for having us here. We are both very happy.
That's what I like to hear. We might see some shades of that rivalry in this matchup, but for everyone who is not aware of what Gymbreakers is, let's do a basic rundown. Gymbreakers is essentially the World Cup of Pokemon Go battling. Players will represent their countries and go through round-robin tournaments in one format. That's how we've been doing this season. We've been matching the waves of Silph. The group stage was done in the previous month's format in Ionic, and then Polkadot was the battleground for these playoff formats. So these are going to be done in the Polkadot style. It is the 1st to 25. We have 8 battlers on each side. They will each do 2 battles in a sort of pod situation, pair 1, pair 2, pair 3, pair 4. And in between battles, they get to share information. They get to learn what their opponent's running, try and set up their teammate a little better for a next matchup. But it all comes down to the points on the board. Like I said, 1st to 25 wins. 1st to 25 gets that diamond title, gets to have bragging rights in this rivalry for 2 months before, we do this in what I'm sure is going to be a great cup and Innocent. charm. But yeah, so if we can start moving forward here, I want to get into this matchup as much as y'all do. I want to see what these battlers have in store. We can take a look at the bracket. We can see how they got there. It's a little blurry, but I can walk you through it. Mexico, very, very impressive in their playoff format, defeating Mato Grosso, the Brazilian B team, very handily. And then there's the big upset, knocking out Spain 25-23, which if you're a Gymbreakers veteran, you know how potent that Spain team is. That's Vani, that's Polisha, that's Alfonso, Bestima, all of them. Mexico took them out to set up this final against Chile. Chile, we're not going to talk about their first round. We don't need to go into any details about that, but more importantly, they beat France in the semifinals. And that's, again, a very impressive win. If you're a Gymbreakers veteran, you know how stacked that France team is. And a little bit of retribution for Chile as they make this final against Mexico. Any thoughts on these projected paths to glory here from y'all?
I mean, I think both teams have been through a lot, so it's gonna be like tough. Also, there's a lot of players on both teams that have played each other so many times that I think this battle is not about like skill per se, because I think everyone on these teams have like the necessary skill to win, but I think more the like mental or strategy, knowing how like your opponent plays. They have played each other so many times that they know like the play styles, so like getting that in mind could like set the advantage for one of those teams to win.
Well,
of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope.
sorry. What I was going to say is that there is no easy team. Like, there is no easy opponent here. Not even as a whole team, as a country, but even as individual players. Everyone here has such a high quality of skill, as my friend just said. Like, it's very hard, and it comes to a lot of mind games. I am currently playing with Mexico B team, but we come to a point like we attempt to schedule so one player plays beforehand, so we force certain move sets from our opponents, so they are not able to change them anymore, so that the second one has an advantage. So there are many like intricacies and strategies that you can use to gain to your advantage, and sometimes it makes a difference, especially in complex metas such as the one that we are seeing right now, with a lot of moveset versatility.
Yeah, sometimes you can even force an advantage, like, when someone forgets to TM their giraffe rig. Not me. But I was just going to say, Swagron's been talking up a lot of these players. We're going to get to see the 16 battlers on the board here for this final here between Mexico and Chile. We don't have to mention Ventuski. Ventuski's probably the biggest name you're going to see on this list, a veteran of the Silph battles, consistent top 10 finisher. This Chilean side, very, very talented. They got the likes of Emilio on there, Decupe, Memi Chinflona. Basti had a pretty good run at EUIC. And then you look at this Mexico side, a very talented Mexico side that may be starting to realize its potential a little bit with some of the grassroots stuff they've had there with battlers like Vaskbjorn, with Castiel Rock, Mongo Ketchum, Eduardo Lomas. So any names that you want to highlight here?
Yeah, I mean, like Horov and Emilio were like the first and second place in the Chilean regional championship last year. So like both like already have like nothing to prove. They already proved it. They're really great players. Ice Crease have been on the top of GBL leaderboards, like literally on the top, like first place a couple of times. So I think like we got our roster of players that are like well known, and I know they are eager like to prove themselves and eager to practice their skills, not only to win this, because obviously they want to win, but they want to improve because there's a regional coming to Chile like I think in a month and a half or something. So I know they're like increasing their level like as much as they can. So I know like practicing every day or something like that. So like I know they're they're really eager to get better every day.
Yes, and on Mexico's side, like I know a lot of these players. They are from my team, from Aztec League. So I train with them, I practice, I theorycraft with them. So I know these players are really technical. They really like their strategies and to team build around specific cores and advantages that we practice a lot. So it's going to be pretty fun how they put this to the test against some amazing and very experienced players too. And this is what makes it fun. Like, it is not only the top teams playing, but the rivalries, both rising stars such as Mongo, as Eduardo, and again, like Horror, Emilio. We have amazing. I don't think there's a single trainer that I would be really happy to see myself match up against from both teams. So that's what makes it very, very happy. I'm very excited to see these matches.
Yeah. So, if any thoughts before we tell people who's making this sort of broadcast possible?
Yeah, I mean, you talked a lot about the individual accomplishments that these players have, but I think competing in this team format is like really meaningful in a different way. Obviously, they all want to do their best, but like the highs are higher and the lows are lower when you're playing as part of a team. So it's just like a higher stakes situation. So really excited to see how everything plays out.
Can confirm. And again, we can confirm this is being brought to you by Pogo Raiders, familiar friend of the Gymbreakers World Cup. If you're looking for an online tool for hosting or joining raids, you can check out Pogo Raiders. They've been optimizing a fully custom raiding organization tool for over a year. They have over 3,000 raids a day and over 150,000 members. So if you're looking for a raid, you got to try their free raiding tool. They also have a dedicated community of Pokemon Go players. You can join their monthly PvP tournaments with cash prizes and find help from some of the best players in the world, along with access to infographics and information about everything upcoming in Pokemon Go. So check them out at pogoraiders.gg or on Discord at discord.gg/PogoRaiders. Y'all, before we start getting into these sets, do we want to talk about Polkadot a little bit? Just because I was excited about Polkadot and just seeing how the team started coming in for Polkadot. It felt like kind of a breath of fresh air given some of the, let's say, very static metas we've had so far this season, with Ember basically being you better have these 5 Pokemon and Ionic being you better have Shadow Beedrill. So what were your thoughts on Polkadot as a format?
I thought Polkadot was a very cool format. Like, there are picks that you might not see as often that like we're really able to make an impact. So like I think normal cast form ended up being like a top meta pick, super flexible, able to hit most of the meta for super effective, and if not, just neutral damage. Stuff like Celia, which is always a mainstay in formats that it's eligible for, also very fun. And then you have this variety in like confusion users, some people going for like a Ringaroo or a Girafarig, and then counter users, Heracross and Donphan. So I feel like there's just like a lot of variety for each of the roles that you want to be filled on your team, which was pretty cool.
Yes, of course. I actually had a lot of fun in Polkadot Cup. I was not able to talk my friends into playing Glalie, but Glalie was one of the big winners from this cup. But what we do see a lot in these teams are a lot of difference in the way that they thought the meta was maybe set up for them. Because I think on Mexico side, we see a lot of Donphan as a primary counter user. And on Chile, we see just Blaziken. Both are very good, both have different coverages. And it's very interesting to see how people in different countries, of course, people with the highest level of theorycraft and skill, think different from the meta. We see a lot more jump love on Chile than in Mexico. Mexico, I don't think we have a single jump love. And we have a lot more Celia, which of course beats the jump love. So it's very interesting to see how they adapted. We see a few confusion users, a few electric types too. But I think this meta had a lot to give, especially as Soph mentioned, like we had normal Catherine who deals a lot of neutral damage to everything. Weather Ball Rock hits almost perfect coverage along with the Energy Ball there. So it's very hard to hold the cast form. From my own experience, like playing on Gymbreakers and doing so on Silph, this was a meta that did not depend at all on matchup or winning the lead. You can actually play with energy, you can play with shields, and almost everything can sweep in the back with correct management.
Joel, I am the Queen of Ice, and I'm not even trying to make Glalie a thing. Stop making Glalie a thing. It's not going to happen.
No, I mean, it beats all confusion users in zeros and ones. Of course, beats the Jump Loft, beats all flyers, and also beats Nidoking. And also, I think it wins the series against Cast Farm, or loses like by 5 HP, so you get some farm down there. So I bet with Glalie,
you know what says all that? Celio. You know what Glalie loses to? Celio. So
Yeah.
Glalie's fun.
Yeah. So let's get into this. We built this up so much. We built up this rivalry. We're just gonna start getting into some of these battles. We're gonna start seeing some points go on the board, and we are gonna start up top. Softoph and Swagron are gonna take our first 3 sets here. So, casters, let's get into this.
Okay. Woo.
Woo.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the teams? Is there something like you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, so first we see the like difference that you mentioned, like on the left we see this Heracross, on the right we see this Blaziken, kind of like a regional difference that you mentioned, like both of which are kind of representative of each other's teams. Both sides we also see the normal cast form, which looks pretty safe on both sides, really only has to watch out for the counter users, right? And then of course the Celio, also very safe and also just kind of weak to the counter users. So I think the kind of interesting differences are with these like Dustox and Beedrill.
Yeah.
Dustox is something I think comes up in Silph Cups a lot, but like otherwise it's pretty much never seen in like Go Battle League or other formats. So I'm like curious if that's going to make an appearance at all here.
I mean, I love my boy. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. I love my boy Dustox, and I think it's really interesting to run like double confusion users. Like you got Dustox and you got like Gyaraphoreg, so it's like really I think it's like really focused into like fast move damage, and what I love about this cup is that when you look at the teams that they are using, it's like really interesting to know like why do you pick this like confusion user like instead of another one, because I've seen Oranguru, I've seen Espeon, so like every decision of like a confusion user that you pick, it's like for a reason, like for a strategy. So like figuring out that, I think it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, and I think on Ventuski's side, actually, I don't think there's a single Pokemon on the left that resists confusion. So, I mean, you could imagine at the end of the game, Gyaraphoreg just Psychic Fangs through the entire team. That would be like quite terrifying to deal with.
Yeah,
So,
I
we'll see
really
what
like
happens.
the cups with the different Pokemon, but I think I'm ready like to watch some battles. Are you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go. See.
All right. Yeah, so we do see that Gyaraphoreg come in actually in the lead here against a shiny Donphan. Looks like the footage on the left is a little bit slow, but that's okay. And these confusions are chunking away. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. They're posing, so it's like it's a face off. It's cool. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
right.
so here's interesting. Like starting with Gyaraphoreg, it's like really like. I think when you start with a Pokemon with that has like a Psychic Fang and Confusion with Double Shield, what you want is like maybe like win the lead, but like he totally proved me wrong, like switching right now. I was like in the middle of talking.
Yeah, catching the Body Slam on Dustox, able to take that no problem. Dustox is actually a very bulky Pokemon, and met with the normal cast form here, which is probably going to come in and start chucking those super effective Weather Balls. So here comes the first. Not going to do a ton of damage, so I don't expect to see a shield necessarily.
I mean, it's kind of tanky, you know, but it's like it's a Dustox. It's not like the tankiest Pokemon. But I've never seen the damage of that, and I thought it's gonna do more. But it's like I don't know, like
yeah, actually, Weather Ball is quite a weak move, and normal cast form is not super attack weighted. So you know. We mentioned cast form has amazing coverage, but it's not actually dealing that much damage, right? It's just kind of able to hit everything.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, do you go for the farm down with your own? Yeah, that's it. Like with your own cast form.
Yeah,
I know it's
good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And we actually see it looks like this cast form doesn't have Energy Ball, which is interesting. I guess you would only really need it for the Dawn fan.
Yeah, it's like double
because
Wither
you can hit
Ball.
everything else with. Yeah, this is
Double
normal
Wither
type
Ball is kind of
Ball.
crazy. It's like I don't think there's another
Yeah,
move
it
like
is.
that. It's like double flamethrower or something like that. Now it's like double Wither Ball.
Yeah, I mean, there's Pokemon with multiple punches, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, but technically, like the name is different. It's not like the same. It's like, but yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. All right, looks
so-
like the last Pokemon here to take out is the Jumpluff, throwing off this first super effective Weather Ball, and then I think you might want to, switch and start getting off these Psychic Fangs just to drop the defense of the Jumpluff.
Yeah, he's
while
going
it's locked in here.
He's going straight for the Thunder. I think like
That also works.
yeah, like confusion damage and thunder. Oh no, so it's gonna like double. Okay, double. But that's weird, you know, because if you throw it like right away, you have like the extra damage of the confusions. But I mean, it works.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
true. I mean, it's sometimes, of course, generally you want to throw your debuffing moves as soon as possible, but sometimes if you're like, not sure how fast you're going to get somewhere, how much damage the opponent will have taken at a certain time, you might end up kind of, reneging on whatever decision you had made. Oh, looks like the Jumpluff is barely going to get off the last move here, so maybe you were right that Ventusi could have gone for the Thunderbolt there, but I think the cast form is going to be able to come in and potentially tackle down both Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, it was risky because of the counter, but yeah, it was like too low hope. It's interesting, because maybe I know maybe like Ventuski is like a really like calculated player, so maybe he like knew that like the exact amount of moves and turns that he needed to don't give the opponent an extra turn. So that's like just like let's do this, even though it's not like technically the optimal, but it's the optimal in terms of not giving any extra energy to my opponent, so that's I think like
so
he's next level, so I'm not
yeah.
I'm not gonna like say he's wrong. He's way better than me, so he must have his reasons.
All right, second battle, bringing that Dustox into the Dawn fan, and we do see the second Confusion user in the back. Remember, again, Vascabjorn does not have anything resisting Confusion, and this is a pretty good matchup for Dustox, right? You're double resisting the counters, and the body slams are also non-stab, so they would not be doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, and as we've seen, Dustox really tanky. He has this move that can boost himself. He has Earthquake, but I mean, I mean that's a lot of damage, but it's resisted, so it's like.
Oh, it's sorry. That's a neutral Earthquake, right? The poison.
It's a poison. Yes. No, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. For one moment, I thought it was
all good.
flying. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, the Dustox barely survives here, able to get off this last move and maintain switch. And you have to imagine there's at least one thing weak to Confusion in the back, because I don't think that's an amazing Pokemon or matchup for Dawn Fan to stay into. So I think switch might actually be pretty useful here.
Yeah, I mean, like,
comes in.
Yeah, it's cool, but double shielded Girafarig in the bag is really strong against Vascabjorn's team. He doesn't have anything that resists, or it's super effective to psychic type Pokemon.
Yeah, so it's just that normal cast form coming in here, and you don't even need to switch out necessarily. You actually probably have the advantage in this matchup just because you have that normal type Weather Ball, but gonna switch out anyways. Now that the cast form is chunked a little bit, you can probably just straight, Insta Psychic Fang and maybe Confusion all the way down. You're gonna get that debuff off on the back Pokemon as well, so Ventuski's in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, like he can almost like farm down now and then like throw. It's like Girafarig, like Psychic Fang gave so many Pokemon like a spotlight that they didn't have. I really love that when a move does that.
Yeah, actually this is looking a little bit hairy all of a sudden. This cast form able to get off another move. Ventuski gonna save the shield knowing that move doesn't do a ton of damage. And do you go for the debuff here? Yeah, you do. Maybe in the hopes that you can eventually... It's actually going to be quite close. Because the Jumpluff is super healthy. You're just going to be able to farm down here.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is huge. Okay, this second Psychic thinks is good. I think if the opponent lets it go, you just tackle all the way down.
No, and
if not, you try
weather ball, like rock
Pokemon.
weather ball, and that's it. Like, or maybe like
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's it was like key like IVs matter. 1 HP second climb for the win. Yeah, that's
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean that's a KO.
Alright, and
Like I mean it's
I
double
think
the
so.
buff.
I mean, Weather Ball is not a super strong move, but that jump off is quite debuffed at this point. So, second point for Ventuski here, taking the win for Chile.
Hey, double confusion for the win. You know, he was
Right.
he texted that on chat like a little bit earlier, and I was like, interesting. But now I understand like the power of that, like the fast move damage that it generates. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, we noticed there's no confusion resistance on Vasquebjorn's team. There's no, you know, Girafarig or Swoobat or Psychic type of their own. So, of course, very powerful if you're Ventuski here.
Ooh, Blaziken.
Yep.
Double.
And again, we see the double confusion in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, he really likes that, but it's cool. Blaziken is one of those Pokemon that I think they were like really used early seasons of Silph and all that kind of stuff, and then like got like a little forgotten. So I'm here for my boy, yeah, or girl. I don't mind.
Yeah, I think it can be a little bit difficult to use just because it is so glassy.
Ooh.
Like, as you can see, just getting one hit, well, I mean, super effective acrobatics one hits a lot of things, but
yeah.
just getting taken out there. But, you know, Ventuski's probably thinking, of course, we know at this point, like, there's nothing that resists confusion. Like, these two Pokemon are pretty safe against pretty much anything in the back, so it's not the end of the world if my Blaziken's gone, right? Took a shield, it did its job.
Yeah, like, it's all for the confusion users, yeah. Yeah, no, and you got, like, super effective poison move for the jump love, so it's, like, not that bad. But the thing is that the new Fairy Wind move gives jump love, like, so much energy. Oh, oh, it tanks it! Oh, it's a lot tankier than I thought! What?
Okay, yeah, so Jump Left doesn't have that much attack. But yeah, Dustox is quite tanky. It's got about 2,000 stat product there. And this actually, like, it looks a little bit hairy. I mean, yeah, we don't need Switch because our Pokemon are so safe, but, like, these Confusion users actually don't do super well in these neutral matchups because, like, Girafarig is not that tanky, right? But on the bright side, Vasquebjorn did just lock in that cast form, so there's no way to clear this debuff right away. Yeah. And of course, we know these charge moves don't do a ton as well.
You know what? I might go, like, after this ends, like, looking for Wurmples or something. I need to get myself a Dustox. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a lot tankier than I thought, and it's cool. It's a cool one, you know. This is just like a fun fact, but I evolved like 5 shiny Wurmples, and none of them were Dustox.
All right. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you do need a Hundo Wurmple for the Dustox.
Yeah, I know, but like you can dream, right? You can dream.
All right. Looks like the last Pokemon is Donphan here. Going to take out the Girafarig. And we still have a little bit of health here, but I think Vasquebjorn actually has this one. The Dustox is just way too low here, and these charge moves are not going to hurt the Donphan a ton, and it still has their shields anyways.
Yeah, the chat is right. Like you not only need 100%, but you need like to get a Dustox. You can get like a Beautifly with 100%. So it's like
that's true. That's true. And you also probably want to best buddy it, so, you know. But maybe a few seasons from now you will have your desktop.
Yeah, maybe one day. Well, that's our first win for Mexico, and I think like reserving Donphan till the end and farming with it is like really strong when like the opponent doesn't have any shields. Like on that last one, like Vasquebjorn did like what Ventuski was doing, like not getting like early shields and using it at the end, like it gave him the advantage this time.
Yeah, and I think it was a difficult matchup for Vasquebjorn as well. I mean, you basically had to bring those 3 Pokemon that didn't take super effective from Confusion, just because Ventuski was bringing that double Confusion every game. But it was a good adjustment at the end, and able to take a point there to avoid the sweep.
Yep. Yeah, and as Ventusky says, like he threw Astonish in the beginning, like going for it with Blaziken instead of going for like 2 Blaze Kicks, and that like used all his energy. Well, he could do like at least like if he used like double Blaze Kick, like have jump love like half health or something like that, like 1 shield and half health. So he baited. I mean, he didn't bait it. He went for it, and it didn't work. But you know that's risky. But it could pay. Sometimes it pays. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. All right, next matchup is up. Looks like we've got Ice Chris on the right here, excuse me. And no confusion users this time, so maybe that's a good thing for Basketbjorn here. And actually the teams look quite similar to me. Castform, Celio, Beedrill, Jumpluff, both making appearances, and then of course the counter user of choice, still Blaziken over here on the right, and then the Samurott also coming into play here.
Yeah, I like Samurott, but I think like Jumpluff's so powerful in this meta that's like kind of risky, you know?
It is risky if you get locked in, but I think a Jumpluff counter swapping onto a Samurott, it's not the worst for the Samurott. You do survive the energy ball, and I think you can get to 2 Mega Horns and threaten the shield. So, not the worst. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Samurott action here.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good with everyone else, like with everything else. I think like almost everything with Hydro Cannon is like really good. Like it's automatically good if it has Hydro Cannon. It's insane. Yeah. Well, and I like the fact that you can like flex it. Like depending on the team, you can get like Waterfall, or you can get like Fury Cutter or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So let's go with the balance. Ooh.
Oh, Blaziken into Heracross. So Heracross actually resists these counters, but of course you're going to take a ton of damage from those fire moves. All right, looks like we're safe swapping Jumpluff here. A little bit risky because there is a Celio on Basketbjorn's side, but worked out. Good team lead. Able to throw this Acrobatics, which will do a ton of neutral damage. Takes the cast from below half there.
Yeah, it was pretty risky. I wasn't gonna say the same thing, but you know, maybe like it's just like going for it. You know, maybe even if he like switches to Celio, like just throw an energy ball and like let yourself go. You know, maybe that's the plan, like farming, even in the worst scenario.
Yeah, I think that's good intuition there. I mean, also you can still hit the Celio with energy ball, of course, and Celio also usually, I think, would run with Water Pulse in this meta. And if you could potentially get a big farm done with the Blaziken later, that might have been a good idea. But anyway, Jumpluff gonna go down here after taking a shield from the cast form, and actually this is a pretty nice position. Blaziken up shields with energy is very, very scary. Nothing resisting fire. Ooh.
We're seeing a double fire moveset, Blaziken. There's no Astonish this time, so like that's pretty interesting. Like going all in. But in this meta and in Basketbjorn's team, there's nothing that resists fire. It's like just neutral.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like really good.
Yeah, and I like this going into the Beedrill while the Heracross is still locked in. So you do have to watch out for Rock Blast, but I mean the counters are doing almost nothing. So you probably just want to try and shield and farm down if you can.
Yeah, like Beedrill does a lot of damage, so maybe can get the farm down. It does. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that was scary. The Heracross is definitely very, very close to move at the end there. Beedrill absolutely loaded here, and let's see what Basketbjorn decides to bring in. Looks like it's that normal cast form. So this X Scissor I don't think quite takes out, but you can get a couple of poison jabs afterwards. And of course like still come out with energy. Yeah, 1. And they switch out to avoid that. Here comes the Dawn fan. And this drill run is gonna come through, do some damage. I think you can take a body slam, but you can't take an earthquake here as the Beedrill.
Yeah, but the Blaziken has a lot of like Blaziken has residual energy, so we can get like to the charge more fast. And like you said, it's not gonna be enough. And I think you should go for the KO right now, and then instantly switch to Blaziken to KO the little health that the cast form had.
Yeah, I mean I think the cast form will die to any or faint to any fast attack here, so I don't think it's a huge deal. You can just stay.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty good. Like I think like the Hurricane's farm down that was definitive. Like it's Beedrill has a high attack stat, and like farming down all that energy was like almost like not like possible to come back with that.
Yeah, and that safe swap jump off though, and not having an answer, that must feel bad. I think you're almost like psyched into bringing the Celio here just because not having an answer for the jump left safe swap just like feels so strange.
Yeah, or maybe even the Beedrill, you know, or something that like can like face him. Ooh, okay, this is good for us.
This is a very good lead. Yeah, jump fluff into Dawn Fan, you know, super effective energy balls, also resisting those counters, not really fearing those neutral body slams. But Vasquebjorn choosing to stay in here. Ice Chris just gonna get off this energy ball immediately before he can switch out.
Yeah, no, it's
a
like
shield.
it's super good. I love jump off, and I think it was like really. I think like the on the last match, like having this safe switch that he couldn't do anything about. It's really smart to now like have it as a lead, because maybe like his opponent's gonna think he's gonna use that safe switch and it's gonna have something in the back to get it, but now it's not ever gonna get it because it's in the lead. Ooh.
Yeah, and I think Vasquebjorn is just in a very difficult spot here with this lead. Tried to catch the energy ball, maybe just to get some kind of advantage. Unfortunately, not able to do it and has to shield up that acrobatics. And actually, Ice Chris choosing to switch out of a very good matchup there. Maybe thinking that Beedrill can get off a lot of poison jab damage, maybe shield a rock blast, throw before they get to the next move, and then come out with some energy.
Yeah, I mean poison jab does a lot of damage, but like it just maybe he's going for the full farm down. He wants that farm down. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, going for the, I mean, you can definitely just farm down after this rock blast gets shielded up, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing on Vasquebjorn's team that's gonna wall this energy. So not a bad idea. 0 shields on either side now.
Yeah,
scary hero, you know, shield with Blaziken.
I mean, it's scary for any Pokemon. I think like double, like 100 energy charged Beedrill. It's like deadly to anything.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at that drill run's doing half damage. Oh, okay, and the cast form is gonna come in now to kind of absorb some of this energy.
I mean, but Ice Chris has a full health Blaziken too, so he swaps right now. Oh, he swaps. Okay.
Yeah, I probably would have gone into the Blaziken too, but I think this is fine. You force the cast form to throw energy, and then you probably just like wait out the clock and finish out with Blaziken here.
Yeah, that's
or
a
you
play.
Can go in right away.
Yeah, that's the play. Like you can farm it down. Because the weather ball won't KO, so like you can farm it down.
Yeah, definitely. One of the very few charged attacks that Blaziken can take.
Yeah. Blaze kick.
Oh, I like this. You're not revealing the blast burn, right?
Yeah.
Or was this? Yeah.
No, that's smart. That's smart.
Or was it already revealed?
No.
Revealed yet, right?
No, it haven't been revealed. So like. He can still think that he has like Stone Edge or Brave Bird or something like that. So yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for this matchup, you're just gonna be throwing fire moves at everything. But I mean, if you're gonna be playing repeated matchups with different teammates, of course, it's good to kind of hide those movesets as long as you can.
Yeah, no, he played great, and 2 Beedrill sweeps, like two matches to Beedrill sweeps. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, the Beedrill doesn't wall any. The Beedrill's energy doesn't get walled, and it's been able to lock onto that Heracross for a big farm down. All right, Blaziken into Casper, another pretty good lead for Ice Chris. This is looking like a dire situation for Vasquebjorn. Bringing in the jump left safe swap, kind of taking a page out of Ice Chris's book here, and met by the Beedrill. This is actually kind of sketchy. So the Beedrill wins this matchup in the 2 shield scenarios, but I believe the jump left survives all the moves and can get off like 2 acrobatics here if it wants to.
Yeah, definitely. Like, ooh, and a bait. Like when you get like a super resisted bait like that, it's like, oh, you know.
I know, and just to save 5 energy on the jump left's end, right? It's so crazy.
Yeah,
but it worked out. It worked out. I mean, the Beedrill obviously can't take an acrobatics like Dustox can, so
Yeah.
has to go down 2 shields. But again, we see the loaded Beedrill here in a bit of a precarious situation with 0 shields, but loaded nonetheless.
Yeah, no, but I think it's not that bad because it's gonna do a lot of damage to anything. He's gonna get at least like 1 shield back, I think, and then you got like the switch advantage, so you can like arrange things as you want it.
That's true, but Blaziken, like I said, can't take that many charged attacks, so if Askew is able to come out of this matchup with any energy at all, I think it'd be quite threatening.
Yeah, no, that's
But it
true.
looks like we're
that's
just
true.
firing off X-Scissor after X-Scissor here.
You see, like it's almost like 1/4 of the cast from health, and he used 1 shield, so it's like it's not that bad of a swap, you know, of a trade.
That's true. That's true. Looks like
And then
is just kind of banking it all on the Dawn fan, and yeah, this is very, very bad. So
Yeah.
alignment was definitely important in that game.
Yeah, it was everything. Like body slams does not do like a lot of damage. He needs like 5 body slams to KO. Fast resisted, earthquake resisted. Yeah, no.
Yeah, very tough position there.
Yeah, Ice Chris has like this like mind reading ability building team. So I don't understand what happened here, but like he read his opponent like straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, reading that in that first game, maybe Celia looks difficult to bring into this like Blaziken. I mean, I don't even think it looks super difficult to bring. I'm still like wrapping my head around that jump left safe swap, like.
Yeah, no, okay. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, going for the fancy. I don't know what the purpose, but for the fancy swap to close out with this shiny Blaziken.
Yeah, the shiny swag. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a sweep, I believe, by Ice Chris, right?
Yeah, it was. And
Okay.
in every match, the Beedrill farmed down one opponent Pokemon. So it's like.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, at 2 shields and farms down that Heracross in game 2, just farms down the Jumpluff as well, and yeah, able to get a lot of leverage out of that energy coming out. And there actually isn't really fast move pressure from any of these Pokemon against Beedrill, so you're usually able to get off even more charge attacks, after farming something down. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Like, it like, I like how this metas like puts you in situations that you not normally would see. You learn like how to use a Pokemon that like at first sight doesn't seem like that good, but like in certain circumstances, like farming or like investing your 2 shields, it could be like the differentiating factor on a battle.
Yeah, and like recognizing when you want shield advantage versus switch advantage, I think really good awareness from Ice Chris there. Are we getting a new matchup or? Oh, there we go. Right on cue.
Ooh.
All right, let's see. This is Ventusky versus Quack Power. Yeah, you want to take a look at these matchups?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
do you want to take us through them?
this is the first Galvantula that we see, and that's interesting because you have like this psychic, water, and fighting Pokemon there on Ventusky's team, so I think that's like a pretty predominant like Pokemon. It's not that tanky, so Confusion is gonna do a lot, but like the factor that he has, they can debuff Pokemon, it's something that you gotta watch out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Galvantula, when it's up like 1 Volt Switch, can do a lot of damage to every Pokemon on Ventusky's team. But like you said, it's not super tanky. I mean, I think it loses the 0s and 1s to Blaziken just because like it just dies to the Blaze Kick, right? The Confusions would also chunk right through it. So I think Galvantula here is very safe, but I wouldn't say it's gonna like sweep through an entire team.
Yeah. So AJ said like, that's disappointing that Quack Power doesn't have a Golduck in his team.
A Golduck, yeah, or any kind of duck, right?
Yeah. What kind of a
Okay,
trial
but
is
actually,
this?
again, yeah, but this looks very similar to that first matchup, or yeah, like the matchup that we saw at the very beginning where Ventusky has that double confusion and there's no confusion resist on Quack Power's side. So it's gonna possibly be another kind of dominant strategy here.
Yeah. So let's go for it. Let's go for it. I'm hyped. Ooh.
Alright, Dust Talks into Samurott. So these Fury Cutters are gonna do absolutely nothing. But looks like Ventusky's kind of going to insta-swap into that Galvantula. A little bit aggressive in my opinion, but not met by a hard counter.
But wait.
Yeah.
How is Ventusky using Galvantula?
What do you mean? Oh. Oh. Wait. Huh?
What happened here?
Okay.
I was like, wait a moment. Wait a minute. So is this like an error or something? A mistake?
Possibly. All right, let's ignore the teams of 6 for now and just look at.
No.
What?
No, I got it. He doesn't have Cilio. It's like he has Galvantula. He never had Cilio.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is with these like aggressive safes? Like Donphan could just come in and like wall these volt switches. Like maybe I'm just missing something here. But it looks like the Galvantula able to come out with a lot of energy. Did have to go down a shield, but I think you'll be able to hit whatever comes in for a good amount of damage. Maybe even get off 2 moves if you're lucky.
Yeah. No, Galvantula and with that use, like getting energy, like 1.5 charge move is like really strong, even against Donphan. Like he's gonna get 2 lunges and it's gonna be like, ooh, sack swap. But I mean, it's not gonna be that good either. It's not gonna resist it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, at least it's not a discharge, right? So the Samurott survives here, but now it's locked in and debuffed. Probably can only get off 1 charge attack against this cast form. It is not super great.
Well, let's go straight for the Mega Horn. I think it can farm down, can it?
Yeah, I think you can tackle all the way down.
Yeah, he did.
And then now you just have to deal with this Donphan.
Yeah, no, but he has like still 3 Pokemon remaining. He has his full Dust Talks.
Yeah, this game is looking pretty closed up and clean.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
are the rest of the team correct? So just the Celio on Ventusky's side should be a Galv, right?
Yeah. No, sorry for the misunderstanding. Like I was like kind of confused for a moment there. Now I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I was confused too.
Because for a moment I thought like
body slams.
Yeah, they're not doing much. Like super tanky, and then Dustox comes in the end for the win, making me make 1. Like go catch 1 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's all right.
Yeah. So no sludge bomb disrespect now. Like,
so just to clarify something, does Donphan have a pretty decent matchup against Galvantula? Like I'm just surprised it didn't come in on that safe swap.
I mean, yeah, because it's like fast moves doesn't do that much damage, and he can take 2 lunges. Body slam would do damage, so yeah, this is pretty decent.
All right.
Okay, double confusion again.
Yeah, but this is a good lead for Quack Power now because like Giraffrig doesn't want to take all those like Fury Cutters and Bug moves, right? So Ventusky just ends up going into the Dust Talks here, which is actually a very safe Pokemon if you look at Quack Power's team.
Yeah, there's nothing that like really counters it like really strongly. Like the most hard counter that he has is that as for that it does a lot of damage. Like Sludge Bomb, almost half health. So yeah, it's not bad, and the confusion's pretty strong.
Yeah, so I think Dust Talks might barely hang on after this Rock Weather Ball comes through.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get it.
Dust Talks can work, but not getting off of confusion. So maybe that.
It hurts. It hurts. So what's the play here?
So remember. So this is a very annoying health because you basically are gonna have to get down to at least half health if you want to tackle down the cast form here.
Yeah, Like
I
even
think
maybe
the giraffe.
shield.
I think you might just shield and okay, no, you just throw before they get to another charge move. I think that's fine too.
Yeah, you got a little bit of energy, but it's
Yeah,
not that
very
good.
little bit. It's not great. And you know, Giraffrig is of course very powerful with these psychic fangs, but you are starting to get low from these fury cutters, and the counters might add up. So I think this game will actually be quite close. Looks like Quackpower is going to shield up that first psychic fangs. I think Sam actually might have been able to survive that, but maybe looking to get off a second hydro cannon here if possible.
Yeah. Like, I think the strat here could be, like, just farm down and double, like, Psychic Fang the next Pokemon, if you can.
Yeah.
And trust, believe in the power of Giraffrig.
I mean, I think getting a permanent debuff is always a very attractive option here. But you are down shields, and Donphan
It's pretty healthy,
able to take that Psychic Fangs pretty well, and also going to be dealing super effective counters to the Castform, and probably just going to be able to take it out with a Body Slam. So I think Quackpower might have this one.
Yeah. The Castform doesn't have, like, that much energy, and he needs at least 2 Weather Balls, so no, there's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Ventusky being forced to switch out of that lead. And the Castform, well, I mean, the Dustox versus Castform matchup is not too bad, but he wasn't really able to leave the switch matchup with enough of an advantage, right? And then the Giraffrig wasn't really able to 1v2, as we say.
Yeah, no, that was, like, really a smart play from Quackpower, like, recognizing that, like, for to win the match, like the next match, like the switch match, he needs to throw something before, so he helps his Castform to win, like, with such amount of health that it will be able to throw a lot of charge moves to the next Pokemon, giving him a lot of advantage.
Alright, Castform into Beedrill here. This is an interesting matchup, actually, because the Beedrill's Poison Jabs, like, really do add up over time, but of course it can't take this Weather Ball super well. But I think the Beedrill, if it really, really wants to, I think it can throw out both shields and try to win swap. Oh my gosh, very aggressive swap confusion user, and the Beedrill just took so much damage there. And bringing Donphan into this Dustox here, hoping that the Earthquake will eventually land, I think.
Yeah, but I think this is a really great position, like, especially now that he threw, like, I mean, at least this is an Earthquake, which it wasn't. Ooh, I was scared. Yeah, now he can shield things and just farm down, secure the switch, and secure to, like, oh, he's not shielding anything. What?
Well, I don't know if switch even is necessarily super important, because remember that Beedrill is super low. It took a Weather Ball and a Confusion. So it's not switch necessarily, but maybe recognizing that there's not a great answer for Dustox, and therefore probably not a great answer for your Giraffrig.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if he can have, like, how do you say? Well, no, it's a Castform. Okay, yeah. No, that's a great play. That was a great play. Like, yeah, it didn't matter because you can, like, double shield the Giraffrig. The Beedrill was, like, almost, like, non-health. So yeah, you're right.
The Beedrill has some energy, and the X-Scissors definitely threaten the Giraffrig. So I don't think this game is over at all. I think as Quackpower, you just have to be careful. You don't want to, like, switch into a Confusion and then, like, throw your charge move and then take another Confusion and then faint with all your energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still a precarious situation. But I like Ventusky letting that move through, remembering that the Beedrill has, close to 2 X-Scissors already.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, so it's gonna be able to, like, just throw 1 X-Scissor because the Confusion went in.
Yeah.
I don't think it can take.
Did you survive this Confusion though? Oh my gosh.
No,
that is tough. Yeah. Oh, I think that it's just so tough to die with that energy, but I think that Confusion registering at the very beginning when the Dustox swapped in kind of, like, made a big difference there, and now you're definitely
Yeah, no, that aggressive swap really paid off. Really paid off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard. Like, you really have like 1 second to react if you don't want to take that confusion damage. And then also, of course, swapping right after a charge attack, get like 0 turn swap, right? So the opponent has even less time to react.
That disrespect, like farming it down when you have that energy, like Ventusky's signature.
Oh, I mean, look, that it takes 1 second to farm it down, and it takes 10 seconds to throw a charge attack.
No, but he had the charge. He almost had 2, so it's like not like.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's just saving time.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. I think it was something like. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was 3 sets from us. So it might be time to hear from our other amazing casters. But those are some really great battles, and it looks like Mexico down 2-7 here, but hopefully able to pick up some points later.
Yeah, anything can happen. Like they're great players, so maybe we'd see like a comeback or something like that. Hopefully not, because Chile, but anything can happen.
All right.
How you feeling, buddy?
It's been tough. It's been tough watching these battles. It feels like team comp wise, it's a little bit hard for Mexico to adapt to the double confusion, to adapt to not having maybe a Beedrill or Blaziken answer. But we will see, because we see a lot of similarities in all of these Mexican teams. And, well, I need to hope. I need to keep my faith high. I have my green shirt here. I have my Rayquaza here, which is like Quetzalcoatl. So faith's always here.
I'm sorry, my Dugong's just gonna take out your Rayquaza. Yeah, no, a tough start there for Mexico in pair 4 with Ventusky just going off there, and Ice Chris picking up a sweep as well. It's a really good start for Chile, and spoke to the depth that Swagwan was talking about, just how deep this Chile team runs. There's not an easy matchup, and as we move up into pair 3, I can tell you it does not get easier, because I had to face Emilio and Basti in the Chile versus Canada matchup, and I took a 1-2 loss against both those battlers. So we'll have to see how next the619 can handle it. Running a triple bug lineup, Jill. Have you ever seen a triple bug lineup in anything, Silph, before today?
I don't think so, and I played my fair share of Silph. I do not think so. However, this triple bug kind of struggles against the Nidoking, so it's gonna be kind of tough. Also, Blaziken deals neutral damage to everything but Samurai, and if you shield the Blaziken, you can counter down the Samurai too. So it feels kind of tough. However, we never know. I need to keep the Fade up, and Fade is the last thing that dies.
Yeah, and Emilio does have a huge advantage in this battle with that Nidoking lurking there. Nidoking, one of the most popular picks in Polkadot. I was surprised we didn't see one in the first 3 battles, but Emilio knows what's up. Nidoking sitting there looking pretty with that poison jab with the double kick if you want to go that, but I assume with triple bug on the side of NXT, we are going to see a poison jab Nidoking come out here, and I'm going to be interested to see what the charge move setup. We know Nidoking has Sand Tomb. Polkadot, a very debuff focused meta with the lunges, with the Psychic Fangs, with the Sand Tomb. But that second move on Nidoking gives you some free. I actually ran Earth Power on my Nidoking because I wanted that. I wanted that for the mirror. I wanted that extra closing power. So I'm going to be interested to see what Nidoking rolls out of Emilio's squad here.
Yeah, for sure. And with that Nidoking looking so strong, it feels like Next has to bring Dumpfang every single time. And Dumpfang does not have very good matchups waiting for it. So let's see how both players plays out.
I think that Samurot's going to be huge for next year. We're going to see Beedrill on the lead against Celio here. First instance of the Ice Up. Emilio actually has it. No Galvantula substitution here for the Chilean, but this Beedrill is going to reach for this draw run early, Jolt.
Yes, and of course, what Seal is very tanky, does not need to shield the first move, which is actually pretty important in some of these matchups. If you get the first shield, you don't actually need to shield back. You can choose to... Wow.
That's a big catch here, but unfortunately for Nexty, it's just the body slam. It is not the Aurora Beam, as he was hoping. The Golpe Cuerpo doing a good chunk, and in comes Nidoking now. This is interesting, Joel.
Yes, it is, but the important thing is that the Beedrill left with energy, and even though the poison jabs are assisted by Nidoking, as we saw in the previous matchups, Beedrill with energy can decimate complete teams, so I think this actually might be advantage for next.
Yeah, I think I see what Emilio's going for here, trying to get the farm down. Nidoking does win the charge move priority event against Samurott, does force his first shield out of next D, wants to get this Hydro Cannon off, wants to take that second shield from this Nidoking, and Emilio, does he let it go here? No, he does throw up the shield at the last minute there, Joel. 2 shielding this Nidoking. A ton of energy, and I see that Earth power on Emilio's side. A man after my own heart. Coming in with this ground-focused Nidoking. Beedrill has to try and find a drill run here, Joel. But is it going to be aware of this Earth power?
Oh, I don't think
No
that's
shield.
expecting the Mega Horn.
Tierra Viva! Viva Chile! Beedrill, no moss, collapses to the Earth power, and now this cast form has to try and go 1-on-3, Jolt, and that is not a task you ask cast form to do.
Yes, as we mentioned, the Nidoking just looks too strong, and without a jump off on the other team, running your tower, it looks just so safe. And I think Emilio would not even have to show its serve, which is also huge in this kind of matchups.
Exactly, does not have to reach for that jump left potentially, doesn't get the Sand Tomb off there, so maybe that third is the goal here for Nexty, trying to see what Emilio's thinking with that lineup, is going to shield the body slam here from the Celio. I'm not sure another one would do the job, Joel.
I don't think so too, but I think next at this point just wants to see the last Pokemon, and this is a mistake. You should definitely go for the kill to see the last Pokemon, but it is what it is. Emilio played amazingly, counting to the CMP, throwing with the...
He is going to get to see it. Castform does survive the body slam there. So Castform is going to reveal Emilio's third Pokemon, and the Jumpluff has the easiest tap of its life. One little bat of its cotton balls. And Castform is no more, and Chile extends the lead here 8-2 on that first one. And as we said, Nidoking just looking very dominant there, Joel.
Yes, of course. So basically, Donphan has to come in. There's no way to stop the Nidoking because the rest can just lose to a double shield with Nidoking. They just straight Poison Fang. So kind of has to bring Beedrill and Donphan, but that's kind of tough to bring too. But let's see how next adapts. Emilio has been playing amazingly with his counts, CMPing when he needs to, throwing one before the Beedrill can get to the drill run. So this is probably the best matchup you can get if you do not bring a Donphan in.
Yeah, Samurott drawing the Nidoking early this time on level pegging to start, and is Samurott going to fire the Hydro Cannon early, gets another early shield for Emilio. He knows the value of this Nidoking.
Yes, of course, and this is the thing with the buffers, like Nidoking beforehand. Like, you basically shield the first one, just the one that's gonna threaten you the most, and then you start putting all the fast move pressure in. You don't do this attention, but look at this damage. It's just a lot, and almost a catch there by Emilio. Almost.
He was reaching for it. He's going to have to spend that second shield, but again, Nidoking just looking so dominant against Nexty's line. Both these Hydro Cannons get shielded. Does save the Samurott for another day, though, going to this Beedrill. And yeah, Next has learned his lesson. Not going to let the Nidoking get another shot off, but it is just the Sand Tomb. Emilio just in the head of his Mexican opponent and catching a drone run on Jumpluff. Oh my god, Next D just putty in Emilio's hands right now. What do you do, Jolt?
Did you saw the damage? Like, I think that drill run did less than a poison jab.
The drill run literally did not budge one of those cotton balls on that shiny Jumpluff. Didn't even put a speck of dirt on that pink puffball. Beedrill just gonna try and do as much as it can here with these X scissors, but this is a brutal situation for Next D 619. Look more Dominic than Rey Mysterio today.
And it needs to throw, which is the worst part. Like, you cannot farm down, or we'll get to the acrobatics. Nidoking has a lot of energy too. And this situation is just dire. Nidoking can farm you down at this point too. And
yeah,
there's
the Samurott does get a bit of energy, maybe able to find a Hydro Cannon for something. We'll see how Emilio wants to play. Is going to safer option, is going to put Celio in here. I like this play a lot. You don't want to risk Nidoking losing that race. And Samurot's gonna reach for the nuke. Here's the big reveal. Megahorn is on this Samurott. And it will do a good chunk of damage, but Celio's so tanky, Jolt. It's why it was the preferred ice type in this meta.
We'll see about that. But basically nothing wants to take an Aurora Beam, which probably takes out Betrayal. And let's remember that the Nidoking is full of energy too, so at this point it feels very tough. Able to probably half HP, even though it's not such a good move, still Sav and, well, not half HP.
Yeah, Castform is able to tank a little bit, but this Nidoking, this is why you had the Earth Power be able to smash through this Castform's defenses. I think the Earth Power might actually be enough here, and it is. Castform is out of here, and now Beedrill just gonna try and reach for this Drovrun, does find the Taladora, and is able to get rid of this Nidoking Jolt, but I don't know if Beedrill can win the race to the next move here to get the win.
No way at all. And
yeah, no.
This should be enough. Emilio's just playing insane, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I made the Dominic Mysterio reference. Clearly, Emilio is next D's mommy, because oh my god, the plays in that eating the Drovrun on Jumpluff is savage, absolutely savage. Emilio just trying to make this a runaway here for Chile. Joel, is what do you do if you're in next D's shoes?
You switch it up. You switch it up completely. You may try to bring Donphan. Maybe try to play some. Maybe your Castform's running Weather Ball normal, and you try to bring it. I do not think this is the answer though, but you get the lead.
Yeah, we do see Heracross in on Celio. A great start for next D, trying to avoid the sweep here at the hands of the Chilean battler. And both Pokemon are going to fire and meet at the same time. A charge move priority event. This Heracross Rock Blast is going to come through. It's going to get shielded.
And when you do not swap out of such a bad lead, you probably know your opponent's weak in the back. So we might see a shield here. No, actually.
The Golpe Cuerpo goes unshielded, and Heracross is just going to continue to counter away. Another Body Slam is going to get the shield here from Nexty, and I think I see a farm down in the Mexican's future.
You gotta swap right now if you're Emilio. You cannot get farm down. Oh, that's tough.
Just gonna let it go, does not want to get trapped in, doesn't know the second move on his Heracross. He's gonna learn now, no shielding, and here comes the Mega Horn from the Heracross. Still can't do half damage to that Jumpluff, but now it's Castform on Castform, and who will headbutt their Castform to victory first, Jolt?
Actually, what you want to do here as next is just lose this matchup, try to get a couple poison jabs with Betrayal, and then with Castform half HP, you can just poison jab it down. When you throw 2 of Scissors, you probably get to them. So I think you want to soft lose this one. You do not want to shield Castform at all.
Oh, and actually gets a charge move priority event against Emilio's Castform. Next's Castform is best Castform. And that will eliminate it before he gets the energy off that. That should be it right there, Jolt. I think Mexico is going to put a point on the board thanks to Nexty's Castform stepping up in this final. Emilio's no shielding. He knows the writing's on the wall. The Puffball is going to take the hits in this one.
Yes, of course, at last, actually. At last. We've all been there, like, the one turn fast move comes in, knocks you out when you have... You know it's very tilting, but it's a point for us, so I guess that's something good. But amazing plays by Emilio. Like, throughout all 3 games. Maybe getting farm down was not the best option. Maybe try to start to jump off, soak the move, because you know you're tanky, you will take even the Mega Horn like, with half HP, and then you might have a chance, but he thought he would get to it, so that's probably what cost him the game.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a little bit of an overthought by Emilio dropping the Nidoking from Game 3 again. It just looks so dominant against Nexty's team, and not having it there to kind of soak up the damage from that Heracross really ended up hurting Emilio, having to sacrifice Celio right off the bat. So next D showing he can get that heat a little bit and put a point on the board for Mexico, but you got a long way to go here, Jolt. A long way to go.
Yes, at this time I hope I was playing myself.
Well, let's see. Oh my god, this is good. Eduardo Lomas versus Horov BK. And another triple bug lineup from Mexico with Araquanid coming in place of Galvantula. But look what's on Harav's side there, Joel. Espeon in Silph action. Did you think you would see the day?
I actually faced that whole Evolutions team, and I faced an Espeon, and it hits so hard, and it has Psychic Fangs too, and it feels extremely strong against this team. Extremely strong.
Yeah, Espeon not here for a long time, but here for a damaging time. It's gonna be tough here. That's a good thing about Espeon as opposed to Girafarig, and you can throw Swoobat on this pile as well, resisting the counter damage from something like a Donphan, allowing it to really dictate that matchup with Confusions. However, the problem with Espeon is it is defenseless if it's stuck in against an Araquanid that you have to assume is running Bug Bite. So that Espeon, if it's in the wrong matchup here, it could very easily wilt under that pressure and leave Harav BK in a deficit against a very bulky threat in this meta.
Yes, of course, but Espeon is also very frail. Probably cannot even take the counters plus the body slam from Donphan, so it really needs to save the shield for it. And also Galvantula is also kind of a squishy Pokemon, so Harav has to be really smart about where to use his shields. And from Eduardo's side, I feel Castform might be your best bet as a safe swap, but this time maybe try to run it with the Energy Ball so you have something to threaten the Donphan with. And I am not completely convinced by the Araquanid, but let's see. I mean, it probably evolves the Sylvie very hard, and let's hope it can do some damage to the Espeon.
Who knows? It could be running Hurricane. We haven't seen a Hurricane cast form yet, but that is a brutal start for Harav, instantly swapping out the cast form. Galvantula comes in, met by Eduardo Lamas' cast form, and an interesting moveset on Harav's Galvantula, cross Poison Lunge on the Electric Spooter.
Yes, well, have you seen the backline?
Yeah, there's the Espeon. This is a very frail team Harav is bringing in. The Weather Ball does draw the first shield on this Galvantula. Eduardo Lomas getting notifications from Discord, but that doesn't stop the Weather Ball onslaught, and now this Galvantula going for the lunge first. I like this safe move here from Harav, Joel.
Yes, of course. You do not want to reveal the X-Eater yet. You need that energy saving move, because it's not really gonna threaten a lot, but it's about the energy that it saves so that you can get to the next launch easier. Now here, of course, excellent counting by Eduardo. He's probably one of the best Mexican players right now. It just needs to take out the spider, but now the Espeon looks tough.
Here comes the Espeon, but it's met by the Araquanid. And how
long
long can Harav keep it in? The Espeon has the crown on, and it's staying in against the Bug Bite Araquanid. What is happening here, Joel?
When have you seen such a tanky Pokemon chunk a Pokemon to have, like, on fast moves? Nothing mastered them.
And get the Psychic Fangs off before it left, making this Araquanid perilous here. It actually has to shield the Weather Ball. It can't really take one. The Bug Buzz does go through, taking advantage of the shield situation, but this Araquanid is taking more tackle damage than Eduardo Lomas would like, and now has to deal with another Weather Ball.
An amazing counting by Harav too. Amazing count. This is just insane. Like, at this point, it's just insane. This is not fair.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
A little bit of an undercharge there from Harav is going to let Eduardo Lomas get that Bubble Beam off, debuff this cast form. It is now trapped in against the Heracross, and, Eduardo Lomas has two shields, has to shield this anyway, but that's a little bit less farm here for this Heracross in the endgame matchup. This Espeon still above half health, Joel.
Just take a look after this shield how much a Confusion does. I think probably dies from another two. So has 9 turns to get to move, and will not get.
Oh my god! Not even close. This Heracross just unable to stand before the crowned Espeon of Harav BK, and another point goes on the board for Chile. And that was a tough situation. Lomas had the lead, but didn't defend against that Galvantula, did not value the cast form, and it ended up costing him in the end, as that Espeon was just able to go to town on those bug Pokemon.
Yes, and it's very tough because actually when you just have one answer to one of your opponent's main threats, it kind of turns into RPS for you, because Horov does not need switch, but you do need switch. And this is playable. That's Bullet Seed.
It's playable, but it's not the matchup Eduardo Lomas was hoping for with this Araquanid on Jumpluff. It is a Bullet Seed Jumpluff from Horov BK, and the acrobatic. That's what acrobatics from Jumpluff does to Araquanid. That is a ridiculous amount of bulk on this Spooter, and here comes another one from Horov BK, just trying to get anything done to this Spider. The Golpe. Wait, Golpe, is that Aerial Ace or is that acrobatics? Do I have that right?
I did not see correctly. I'm missing my glasses, but I think this is not a mistake from Eduardo, because he should be throwing before, at least to. Let's see. I think that's Aerial Ace. Yes, that's Aerial Ace. Yep.
Yeah, it's not even acrobatics on this Jumpluff. This is a Jumpluff with some vintage tech here from Horov BK. Sorry, my Spanish is not that good. I assumed acrobatics. But yeah, Araquanid eliminated already. Galvantula enters, and now Cast Form comes in, but there was the reveal there, Jolt, of the Celio for Eduardo Lomas, so Horov does know the entire lineup from his Mexican opponent.
Yes, of course, and maybe my friend Horov trying to save some elite charge TMs. That could be the case. Like, I had one Jumpluff until like yesterday because I not wanted to use a TM. So that can happen, but I think at this point, this is when you want to use your Cross Poison. At this point, I think, because knowing that Steel on the back, this probably gets shielded, or maybe I could be wrong, of course. And this match just seems very, very tough.
Yeah,
because
the plancha is unshielded. All shields for the Celio. Eduardo Lomas protecting the ice Pokemon. Galvantula, no shielding the Weather Ball. It is going to be eliminated here on that tackle. And now Espeon gets a jump start with that confusion going through on the Cast Form.
I think there might be a chance, because I think Celio just outspeeds, and one Body Slam will take it out. Spin is just too frail.
Yeah, and Eduardo Lomas is going to no-shield the Psychic Fangs, the first Psycho Fan, the Psycho Colmillo. It will drop the defenses, but this Espeon has no defenses to begin with. So Celio just going to unleash some corporal punishment. The Golpe Cuerpo is shielded by Espeon. Horov's going to be looking for a catch situation, but Eduardo Lomas able to throw in the middle of the confusion, making sure that isn't a possibility, Joel.
Yes, of course. It's very hard to catch against like a four-turn move, but it tries, and I think Espeon wins CMP.
Yeah, it is a body slam for the Celio, able to get enough farm on the Jumpluff. Espeon's confusion does not matter, and Celio will take a point for Eduardo Lomas there in Game 2. Mexico closing the gap again to 10-4. Very well played by Eduardo Lomas, realizing the Celio was the key to success there and making sure it had enough protection to deal with the offensive onslaught that Espeon dishes out.
Of course, but I think this is a different match if Horov shields Galvantula, or if it has acrobatics or Fairy Wind. Because Fairy Wind charges faster, I think it would have reached the move against the Celio when it came against at the end. But let's see, this double weak to ABA against Cast Form, and you get it in the lead. You just love to see it.
Yeah, we'll see. Trying to catch a move on his own Cast Form there, but unable to do so. Horov BK's Cast Form is going to gain a ton of energy here, and Eduardo Lomas just going to no-shield the Cast Form. Has been very dismissive of his Cast Form, saying, you don't need shields, you can do whatever you need to do, and is going to get a Weather Ball off here against this Galvantula, Joel.
Yes, this is just... Yeah, I think this will get shielded, and I think you just got Cross Poison at last. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Cross Poison finally getting revealed.
Watch it boost.
Oh, don't. We'll see if the Chileans have made that offering to the goddess. No boost for this Galvantula, and this Cast Form able to get another Weather Ball off. Try and force that final shield from her. It does force a final shield here, Joel.
Yes, of course, wanting to keep switch. Even though you don't have Espeon at this time, Galvantula has almost 2 launches ready. And I think Beedrill's a safe swap in now that you know the moveset. but still, it will do quite a chunk of damage. Probably didn't get the yellow, and a second one with the voltage might come close to KOing.
Yeah, but the thing is, now that the Galvantula moveset has been revealed, he knows he doesn't have to shield this Beedrill. That first lunge goes unshielded from the Galvantula. The second one goes unshielded as well. He's making the call here. He's making more faith for this Jumpluff. Is able to get the X-Scissor off, though. That is a huge move, Jolt. He has 2 of these, and is going to be able to swap to the Celio right after.
You might die to the tackle.
We'll see. He's hammering on that swap. He wants Celio in. Does get Celio in against Jumpluff, and Harov has to be beside himself seeing this Celio go off. Gonna reach for this energy ball. Eduardo knows that it's Aerial Ace, knows that the other move is gonna be Energy Ball, and does shield going to this cast form, trying to get rid of the Celio in time, but the Body Slam spam Jolt is going to come fast and furious, and that X-Scissor still lives.
Yes, that X-Scissor might come clutch, but you need to get the Jumpluff lower. It will not be enough on itself. You might have 1 Poison Jab and the move if the game lets you, but it will be a close game depending on how much energy Eduardo saves from here.
Yeah, Eduardo's making the call that Jumpluff is dead on energy, going for the Body Slam here to finish off cast form, gonna try and reach this Aurora Beam and put this away, and he's going to be able to. The Bullet Seeds not able to make it up. You can see Harov tapping on that Aerial Ace, but no dice. Aurora Beam will send Jumpluff scattering to the winds here. And Eduardo Lomas picks up a big 2-1 for Mexico, their first win of this matchup, to try and get them back into shouting distance of this Chilean side.
Yes, and a very clutch and important win, because we have a whole lot, we have played Gymbreakers. We know how important is morale. When your team is already down and you have not yet played a single game, you kind of feel demotivated, like it loses the point, like, okay, I need to get 3-0, or otherwise we're just like getting further behind. So getting this win here is huge, huge, huge. And actually from a very tough scenario, I felt that SPN was going to be very tough to handle, but it was able to be handled. And I think that Jumpluff with that moveset might have lost Horror a couple points.
Yeah, when in doubt, place your faith in the ice Pokemon, and Celio, clear MVP there for Eduardo Lomas, able to handle that Jumpluff, able to handle Galvantula. And now with those movesets revealed, that's going to make things so much easier for Mongo Ketchum, who is Eduardo Lomas's pair mate, in pair 1 there. And I can see you throwing it out, Jolt. I think you know Mongo's looking at that matchup just like, yeah.
He's one of my best friends that I have from my team from Aztec League. He's one of the nicest persons I know in general. Like, he might be nicer than me, might be nicer than anyone. And he's an excellent battler. And he loves to play Spice too, so we synergize a lot within the team, so I'm very happy to see him play. I have not seen his battles, I do not know the results, so I'm very excited to see him play.
I'm excited here. I want to see, if Mongo's bringing the spice, I want to see what Mongo's got in the bag of tricks there. Let's get to this final set of our 3-pack here, Jolt. We got Next D back in action, this time against Basti 170. And again, this pair 3 for Chile. This Chile team runs deep. Like I said, I went 2-4 against them. They each took 2 wins off me, and Basti running a very similar lineup to what I ran. I ran Nidoking instead of Beedrill and Girafarig instead of Jumpluff. But we'll see if Next's learned from that first set with Emilio. Given that Basti doesn't have that Nidoking protection, the bugs do have a little more play here, not being walled off by the ground typing of that Nidoking.
Yes, of course. However, cast form is also the bane of the bugs. I mean, of course, Heracross has a good matchup, but the tackles plus the weather balls add up. And in my opinion, if I was Basti, I would play maybe a cast form safe swap, farm down with Blaziken, and then Blaziken can destroy complete teams. Especially if it has the Sunwitch for the Samurott. But let's see. I do not see Celio a lot of play here, but let's see how they play out this match.
Yeah, with Nexty bringing the double counter, I can't imagine Celio is going to feel safe for Basti. I think we're going to see a lot of cast form. I think we see a lot of Jumpluff here for the Chilean side. That Jumpluff being able to operate freely without an ice Pokemon on Nexty's side. So let's get into these battles, Jolt. All right, we are riding along with Next D. Appreciate the tag along. We have Castform on Beedrill in the lead. Great start here for the Mexican battler.
Yes, and you know, when your opponent does not swap from a matchup, it's probably weak in the back too. So let's see, tries to catch with the Castform. We have seen this before. And throwing before living to maybe try to secure switch here. Very, very smart.
Yeah, definitely valuing the energy on that Beedrill, protecting it, putting it in the back. Castform does get some chip damage here against its counterpart from the Chilean side, but loses the charge move priority event here, Jolt. That is big information for Next D.
Yes, of course. And if you want to know if you win or lose CMP, with a one-turn fast move, it's very important to get it early in the matchup, like game one in the lead, almost in the lead scenario, so you can plan ahead for future matchups.
Yeah, and you can see Next D here trying to take advantage, trying to volt switch down with this Galvantula, is able to do so. Basti cannot fire the weather ball in time. And now this Beedrill coming back in, going to be met with a discharge immediately, Jolt.
Yes, and it will do a lot of damage. It gets a shield, and it will get to another one. If you shield this Accessor, it will do some damage. But I think you just prioritize getting the Beedrill out of here.
Yeah, the Tejera X is shielded by this Galvantula, just trying to protect itself from the attack, and that's all Beedrill has to do is just throw X's. Galvantula is that squishy.
Yeah, of course.
And Galvantula does live that on 1 HP. What survival there from that Galvantula. Gets this discharge off. Huge move and KOs the Beedrill. That is a huge get, and it's Jumpluff in the back, Jolt, as predicted from Basti. And now this Beedrill just gonna jab away at the Fairy Wind Jumpluff.
Yes, and that was crucial, because if you give the Jumpluff a little bit more of advantage, I've been there a lot of times when you try to catch, you do not catch, and you give the Pokemon extra energy. That might be the lose condition. That is 100% play that I would be making.
Yeah, Castform tried to catch the Acrobatics, unable to do so, but this Beedrill is loaded on energy, has a shield for protection, Joel. I think your compatriot is going to come away with the victory here. The Tejera X doesn't do much, but it does enough, and does not get that final shield, but this Beedrill just content to build up to 2 and end it here, knowing that the Jumpluff cannot store 2 moves, since it is likely on that Energy Ball Acrobatics move set. There's the shield. Doesn't matter what this is. Beedrill going to shield up, get the second X Scissor off, and that is going to be a victory for Mexico here in Game 1 of Match 6.
Yes, we are lucky that Jumpluff cannot save up to 2 Acrobatics, so that's amazing for us. But we have seen the power of Beedrill with energy. There are very few Pokemon, outside from Beedrill, that can actually resist the moves from Beedrill, and even Drillbur does a lot. So Beedrill with energy might be the win con for next, and for Basti too, if Donphan is not present.
Very true. Donphan does look like the best option to try and slow that Beedrill down, just being able to resist Poison Jab, taking neutral from the Drill Run. I think Heracross might have some play as well. If Basti's going to rely on that Castform safe slot, you can bring in a Heracross, you can build up to a Rock Blast, get shields from a Beedrill. The rock damage made Castform very attractive. Well, we see Heracross come in, but it is met by Basti's Blaziken on the lead, Jolt.
Yes, and Blaziken takes a lot of damage. Oh, this is Fire Spin.
That's a Fire Spin Blaziken. Actual fire move pressure on a triple pug lineup from Next D, Jolt. Oh my god, must be beside himself seeing a Fire Spin Blaziken, knowing there's no counter damage to worry about now for that Castform. This Heracross gonna try and do some damage. She's loading up, she's got the Rock Blast. The Pedrada does take out Blaziken early, and maybe Basti might regret that, because here comes Galvantula to deal with Jumpluff, and that Blaziken could have done so much more work, Joel.
The worst part is that it actually got out damaged by the counters, which is insane in my opinion. And I've seen the comments that they are saying that Basti stole Ice team, but it's just not as good with the team as him, which we can clearly see. But let's see how this turns out. I think being a shield down is actually huge in this matchup.
Well, 2 shields down now. This Galvantula protected. Basti does hard swap this Beedrill in, and next he's going to take advantage with a lunge here.
Very risky.
Does get the shield though, but I think the attack debuff is what NextD was looking for there. Now that this Beedrill is hard swapped in, gonna try and take some of the bite out of that Beedrill's moves. The Tejera X is survivable now with that lunge debuff that's out good. It's Galvantula is going to get another move. Another lunge comes off. Does Basti make the call that it's back-to-back bug moves?
Very tough call to make. I think you shield.
Does make the call, does keep the shield alive, and in comes NextD's Beedrill now with a 2 attack stage advantage on his counterpart from the Chilean side, knowing that that jump bluff is back there. The Taladradora does nothing to this Beedrill. It's going to be able to farm down here, Jolt.
Yes, of course, but you gotta be very careful right now because Beedrill cannot take a single move right now, and you're throwing a drill run into the jump bluff.
I don't know about this one next, but he does get the shield. What is happening?
Oh.
I don't know about that one next. I think he needed that energy because I don't know if Heracross has it. The acrobatics from jump bluff does take out Beedrill, but there is the rock blast in 2 counters. Maybe NextD just showing off, maybe a little frustrated from the performance against Emilio, just celebrating the fact he's gonna go at least 2-0 here. Jump bluff does go down to the rock blast. NextD 619, feeling that heat from the crowd. Like I said, like Dominic Mysterio just looking out there, just like, you don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna drove run whatever jump bluff I want. But it's a big pair of wins here for Jolt to try for Mexico to try and get back in here, Jolt, and try and close this gap.
Yes, very important. We're just 3 points apart. That's easily reachable. But what I find really funny is that it's jump bluff in the back. Like, that's the last Pokemon. He's half HP already. But let's see how the last matchup comes in.
Well, I mean, the triple bug survived Fire Spin Blaziken, but you can see now that Fire Spin is revealed, NextD reaching for that Cast Form Safe Swap, knowing how safe it is now. Beedrill is going to get some energy, going to go to this Cast Form, trying to catch the Weather Ball, but Basti does not fire it. Will fire it now here before the Cast Form can respond.
This is very tough because I am not sure if Basti will try to save the Cast Form. Knowing like it got chopped out into the mirror, you probably have to think it might be in the back, very weak to it, and in the lead to probably swaps out here, try to farm.
Yeah, we can see NextD reaching for that normal Weather Ball, trying to get the stab on its counterpart from Chile. Does it go shielded here? No, it doesn't. Can it tackle down? No, it's just going to evacuate and isn't able to get the Weather Ball off on the Beedrill. That is a tough amount of energy to lose there, Jolt. But this Beedrill did farm up a ton of energy here for this mirror. And this is going to come down to bait calls.
I don't think you bait here.
Data X does get the shield from Basti. Big early shield to get Taladradora next. The drove run coming in, trying to just eliminate this Beedrill before it can get started. And is shielded, double shielded here though. So NextD can just farm up to another drove run, Jolt.
Yes, of course. You need to get the Beedrill alive out of here because Galvantula will to deal with the last Pokemon, whatever it is, it needs some help.
Yeah, but NextD is going to give the shields to this Beedrill. Now has to be very aware. You haven't seen Basti's third. That jump bluff could be lurking. And he does go 1 over here, making sure it's not an immediate catch. So the Taladradora will indeed take out the counterpart from No, it doesn't. It lives. Oh, that's a huge live for Basti. This X-Scissor should be enough to take out this Beedrill, and it is. So Galvantula is going to have to try and make this work against that jump bluff in the back. Now, Acrobatics is not the threat to Galvantula that it is to the other bugs. It is neutral damage because of the electric typing, but this jump bluff just needs 2 of them, and Galvantula needs at least 3 moves to deal with it.
Yes, and it's gonna be very tough. That Beedrill living was a heartbreaker. And even though I think Beedrill was maybe too low, you need a little bit more HP on your Pokemon. This...
Yeah, and you can see NextD just trying to get as much damage as possible, going for this discharge here, but jump bluff, tanky as hell. can live through that, get as much damage as possible, is just going to fire the move, even if it's Energy Ball Jolt. I don't think Galvantula has the antenna to survive it. It does not, and that is a big point for Basti. That Beedrill tanking the Taladradora. Huge in that endgame situation for that jump left.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. I think the team comps are making it harder for Mexico to deal with. They do not have like straight counters to the jump off, to the Blaziken, to the Beedrill, and Castform just, even with double counter, Castform is running free. We have seen Chile just use Castform, even though all of Mexico has double counter, and they do not care because they're not even using the Donphan. So
no,
that's
there's
tough.
enough with jump left there. Donphan can literally do nothing to jump left, but just sit there and let it just bat it with the cotton balls while it just fairy winds down. So Donphan looks very that's why I preferred Blaziken as a counter user, not only for stab, but for that ability to hit a wider variety of targets, not get walled by those flying types. But we've seen counter hasn't been as important in these matchups. It's been Castform usage, it's been Beedrill usage, and in Next's case, it's been, you know, having some ice to make sure that jump bluff isn't able to just run rampant on you.
Yes, definitely. I also prefer the Blaziken. I think if you want to run double counter, it has to be Blaziken and Donphan. But let's see how they adapt. Of course, there's a strategy that has been thought by team members, especially by their captain, which has been shared throughout the members. So let's hope that it miraculously turns things around.
Well, Jill, we're gonna have to take a break. I need to drink some more Coke. I need to refresh after the sheer disrespect of Dro running a jump bluff you know is coming. Just I have to take a break from that. So we're gonna get Swaggeron and Soph back in here for matches 7 for 9. Hopefully they don't have to deal with the amount of BM that we saw in these matchups.
Let's see.
All right, looks like we're back, Swaggeron.
Yeah, we are. Ooh, great matches. Really good.
Yeah, great matches. Looks like Mexico is able to bring it back a little bit from that, I think, 2-7 hole that we left them in. So this is looking pretty exciting now.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how like mental strength plays like a really important factor in these matches, because you can get really demotivated like watching the points like grow apart like each time, but like getting consecutive wins could get the team like a boost, so they get like moral boost, so they can like perform even better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I always tell my faction teammates that the order is arbitrary and doesn't matter, but like it really does.
Yeah. Okay, so
right, you want to take us through these matchups?
Yeah, let's check it. I mean, the teams here are kind of like getting like the only difference between all like the teams is this Arcanine. I think the how do you call it in English? Like
I call it Arcanine, but I could be wrong. So
yeah,
like, I mean K9.
Yeah, I have heard that before. That's why I was like thinking. But yeah, the Arcanine, it's kind of weird because it has like so much different like fast move damage moves. Like you can get it with fire and dark, and you can get like wild charge. So it's pretty interesting to know like if it's just like a bait Pokemon or if in Beto like does really use it. I wanna see it. I wanna see it in action.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Like I really don't see it even in these like Silph Cups where you see more fringe picks being used, but I think it is quite glassy, and it's hard. Sometimes it like doesn't get to multiple charge attacks, right? But I think it could have play here. Like it doesn't look like it has any matchups that are too terrible against the opposing team. If you have Snarl, you can like charge up to those wild charges very quickly, which will deal a lot of damage, right? So I think it can definitely be used. And then as you said, everything else is like pretty much Pokemon that we're getting pretty used to seeing at this point.
Yeah. So let's go with the battles. Okay. Oh, we have double screen now. Yeah, fancy.
Double screens. All right. Well, looks like Ingveto leading Castform into that jump bluff. We still see the double weather ball move set here, and we're in English now. Very exciting.
Double weather ball, yeah. So in this match, I think it's like do as much damage as you can to the jump bluff, or maybe like come to farm with the next Pokemon or something like that.
Yeah, and I think a good thing, right, is you have that Donphan in the back, and Donphan obviously has a horrible matchup with Jumpluff, and at least now you know, like, okay, my Donphan hopefully does not have to see this Jumpluff, right? So I think that's like a good thing. For,
Yeah,
you know,
no, and it's actually
lose
pretty
this-
strong. It's actually pretty strong with against anything else than Jumpluff, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And you see here, bringing the Beedrill into that Blaziken, obviously you need to shield up these charge attacks, but the poison jabs are going to do a lot of damage. I think you'll probably be able to come out with some energy, just need to overfarm here. I don't think you can farm all the way down, but maybe, yeah, just before the charged attack. Oh, actually, yeah. X's are here a little bit risky.
Can he
I
take
think
it?
the Blaziken
Can he
actually
take it?
survives this.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
double
double
resisted.
resisted. Oh my gosh, and losing CMP there, that is, I think that is a mistake.
Yeah. No, it's harsh because
Yeah.
I mean now he's gonna farm it down, and oh no, he did CMP. Oh, that's
Yeah,
really
he
bad.
CMP'd the second charge. Yeah, so I think this is quite a bad position now because you come out with no energy. Well, okay, maybe two poison jabs
like-
here, but down 2 shields here. This is going to be very, very difficult now. Although, you know, Donphan, of course, is going to be doing super effective counters to this cast form, and you still have enough health to get off a charge attack, so not all is lost.
Yeah, no. But you know what? Like, I mean, he's up 2 shields. He has the full health cast form, and I think the Jumpluff can do something with the Donphan in the back, like maybe a catch or maybe just like getting an energy ball.
Yeah, it might even, I mean, it is low, but it might even be able to take the counters to get off a charge attack. So bringing the Donphan in here, and
Oh,
yeah,
there
the
it
Jumpluff had
is.
a move loaded.
Yeah.
Do you think, oh my gosh, do you think it can reach a second energy ball? Like, the Donphan needs to counter this all the way down, but I don't know if that's possible.
No, yeah, he can. He cannot farm it down. No, maybe I don't. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, okay. I like this. Okay, realizing you can't farm it down, you sack the cast farm, but I think the Donphan is just too low. You're not going to be able to get off both body slams. This is looking like a very difficult position.
And that was a really good ender charge because now the cast form has almost a weather ball and that's it. Oh well, he didn't need it, but well, he has it. He had it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Donphan was just too low there, and I think the cast form could have taken a body slam too. So I think that middle game was just very, you know, tough to come back from, like losing all the energy from those X scissors. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know, like it was interesting because like we said in the beginning, like yeah, now the Donphan is now like free from Jumpluff, but in the end, like the Jumpluff with like 2 HP, like throwing energy balls at him.
Right, yeah. So, of course, poor Donphan. Alright, Beedrill into cast form here. Obviously, you need to watch out for those rock-type weather balls, but for the most part, you know, you can just plow right along, do these poison jobs. Actually, gonna aggressively switch into Heracross here, and met by the Jumpluff.
Yeah, I mean, even though, like, Heracross is, like, one-shotted by the acrobatics, like, the threat of the Mega Horn, it's real. Like, it does a lot of damage.
The Mega Horn, like, you need 2 Mega Horns you need 2 charged attacks of any kind to take out the Jumpluff, right? So it's not too big of, I think you just let this, okay, you can shield the first one too, I guess. Because you have to shield something, of course, if you want to maintain swap. And looks like Decoupe is reaching for that acrobatics, probably going to farm up a little bit more after this Rock Blast, just so you can leave with some energy.
Yeah, like
that's
1+
pretty good.
move. Yeah. Like, Jumpluff has a decent amount of health that can do damage to the... Well, I mean, the Beedrill can farm down, but I don't know if it can farm it down before, like, it throws something, like another acrobatic.
Yeah, I think the Jumpluff will get to an acrobatics, for sure. But I think the Beedrill, if it wants to, you can throw the energy to avoid having to use a shield on the acrobatics. Yeah, that's exactly what we see happening. Throwing on charged move priority, really great counting there from King Beto.
Yeah, like using every chance you get to get energy. Yeah, that's really good. Ooh,
yep.
I mean, it's a sack swap, but yeah, it makes sense. It can take damage a lot better than Beedrill.
Yeah, and of course you do get met by the Blaziken here, but I think the Beedrill at this point is just a little bit more valuable, so I don't mind, you know, taking that Weather Ball and the Celio. Although maybe it looks like you're not going to get to the second Body Slam now.
Ooh, shielding.
Oh, okay, that's
Ooh.
huge. Because now you can just take out this Blaziken with the Drill Run, right?
With the Drill Run, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously you need to shield this.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that with that health,
yeah, but now the thing is you just die to a Weather Ball, right?
yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, is one Weather Ball enough? Like, well, with the fast moves, yeah.
With the tackles, definitely.
Yeah,
The Beedrill still needs a lot more jabs to take out the cast form, I think. So yeah, at this point the Weather Ball definitely will take out.
Yeah, great place.
Tough position there.
Yeah, no Arcanines. Why? I want to see him.
Well, I think the Arcanine is probably just going to struggle in these neutral matchups, right? Oh, it does have Psychic Fangs. I actually forgot about that recent addition.
Yeah.
It definitely has play. How much play? Unclear.
No. I just want to. I just want to watch it in action. That's all. But yeah, no, I get it. Like, if you are in this position, you want to win. So if you think that it's not gonna work, you're not gonna use it. So yeah, I get it. So let's go to the last one.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
Oh, finally. Okay, I was about to say, you know, the Celio was brought just for the Jumpluff last game and it wasn't able to get it. All right, and bringing the Beedrill into the Blaziken again, I think, you know, as long as you have the count right, I think you can leave this matchup with some energy and get off charge attacks on the next Pokemon. Just make sure you shield up the fire moves, farm until the last possible second. Okay, or you can just go right there, that's fine too.
So, is the goodbye gonna shield?
You can farm a little bit more there.
Ooh,
oh,
last
get
minute
the shield though.
Yeah, last minute shield to force the second shield. Because Beedrill, if he double shields, Beedrill come full farm, which we have seen that's pretty terrible. Like, a lot of energy is gonna, like, do a lot of damage. So this is hard. This is a tough position.
Yeah, I mean the Beedrill is loaded here. Jumpluff very tanky, going to be able to take these moves, but the thing is, you're gonna take a lot of poison jab damage before you're able to KO with the acrobatics, right?
Yeah. So I mean, but Jumpluff's taking a lot of damage.
The Jumpluff is taking a lot of damage. I think the most use you can get out of the Jumpluff at this point... Oh my gosh, I was going to say you would want to take out the Beedrill and then get off an energy ball on the Celio, but it looks like we're switching out, bringing that Donphan in here. I kind of like this because the Beedrill, you know, will die from the Body Slam now. And
yeah.
More to bring in that...
Yeah, no, it's tough because...
I don't know if I necessarily...
You need, like, counters and then another Body Slam to KO, and then you'll be in range of like an Excessor from the Beedrill, so it's like really tough position. But if he does KO the Celio, then he has a charge move on the Jumpluff, so it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, I think if you were planning to shield the Donphan, you probably just want to go for the Earthquake there because I think it does more damage, and you also let one fewer Powder Snow through. I was thinking that maybe we threw the Body Slam just to, because we weren't planning to shield the Donphan, but alright, able to farm down at the Jumpluff here.
Yeah, no, but this is over.
I think the cast form, I think the cast form just finishes this off.
Yeah. No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like one Earthquake was like better, like energy management, more efficient, like in general. Yeah, no, but it's over.
Yeah, Jumpluff's doing its best here. Yeah.
Like, finally we see the Celio against the Jumpluff. We were waiting that.
I know. I mean, it's tough because the Jumpluff keeps coming, so you need to bring your Celio, but the Celio just does not have good matchups against everything else. I mean, it was okay against the Donphan there, but like it's not great versus Blaziken, Galv, cast form even. Yeah,
and it was risky, but it definitely paid off. So great for Ingbedo. So that was the third battle, right?
I think that was the third battle of this set. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no Arcanine action today.
No.
Sorry.
No. All the Arcanine fans out there. Sad today. It's a sad day. Yeah.
And I could be mistaken, but I think that was the only Arcanine on either team that we're going to see. So
Yeah. That's why I was like pretty sad.
another day, another day.
Yeah,
All right, looking at
one day.
ooh, I recognize some of
Yeah.
these. All right. Okay, this should be a good matchup. All right, so we've got Mongo Ketchum versus Memi. Pretty meta teams on both sides. I see Memi rocking that double confusion, as we saw some of his teammates doing. And it looks like Mongo Ketchum doesn't have a confusion resist as well, so could be a difficult position depending on how Memi plays this.
I mean, Mongo has Samurai that can do a lot of damage with a fast move to Oranguru. But still, like, besides that, double confusion is such a powerful core if you don't have something that resists it, especially with debuffs and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be tough, but let's see.
Yeah. And Oranguru is a little bit bulkier than Girafarig, so keep that in mind. Alright, Galvantula into Donphan. Very bad lead for Memi with those Volt Switches being double resisted. Going straight into that Dustox here. Pretty safe, actually, if you were looking at Mongo's team.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. And it's not afraid of Donphan's body slams. Like, I understand the thing that he wanted to, like, help Galvantula with the next match, but it's incredible how tough and how tanky Dustox is.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Mongo, probably the best matchup against the Dustox is with that cast form, which Mongo didn't end up bringing here. So had to kind of chip and dip before going into the Galvantula. I mean, Dustox might even hang on after this discharge.
I think it does.
I don't want to...
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, barely. Okay, barely take out there. Ooh, but now this is very uncomfortable. You have to take so much damage on whatever you bring in, and Mongo's Galvantula is just actually, yeah, quite safe if you look at Memi's team. Depending on how energy, like, differential is with cast forms, quite safe.
Is he gonna go for the CMP? That's
wow!
his KO.
Okay, that is bold, but you really, really needed that. You really needed that there.
I mean, by his debuff, that's his KO. No, it didn't.
Oh, but it boost. Okay,
yeah.
So you lose this lunge. You get one more Volt Switch. You can get a boosted move off on anything. So probably you're gonna get a shield. Here comes a Donphan.
And he's gonna get like the this debuff is really good because he's not gonna be able to swap it out because it's locked down. So yeah, no, and it did a lot of damage. So yeah, no, I think it's done.
But now you get less farm with the Blaziken.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And now you're just hoping and praying that there's something your Blaziken can take out at half health with less than a charged move sword. I think Memi is in a...
What?
It's not, but I mean, it can take at least one fire type charged attack, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, you know, I think Blast Brain would almost take out from here.
100%. Like, the counters are doing so much damage, but the thing is, Memi has to be careful because a side swap, like swap, with the swap, it's so like.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, he's letting me go. Oh no.
Okay, he shields. Okay, now you have to. I think you have to catch now.
Ooh, the catch! Oh, he got it!
Oh my gosh!
He got it.
Yeah, all right, that's game, but
I mean, he can. Memi can do a catch too, but it's really hard. Almost, so he wanted
difficult.
To. Yeah.
It's so difficult. I mean, you know, Fury Cutter, one turn fast move, you can't, you know, wait a turn in between a Fury
so hard. Yeah, no, that's...
Oh my gosh, that was a huge catch though. And even still, almost had the game with those Volt Switches. The last one just barely didn't go through. But yeah, that was amazing catch by Mongo.
No, that was amazing.
Really good.
That was amazing. Like, the only win comment, he used it perfectly, so yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect. Very nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No Oranguru though.
No Oranguru. Yeah, I mean, I think the Oranguru is quite decent, but if you're expecting the Samurott
and the Galvantula
Dustox instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Dustox here it has a better matchup with Donphan as well. All right, yeah. So Dustox into Samurott. I think This is pretty decent for the Dustox. Yeah, you can see Mongo go straight into that Galvantula, and you know there's no ground type on Memi's side, so the Galv is actually a pretty good safe swap.
It is. But you know what? Now we're gonna see how much damage it takes with the discharge. You know what? I think it was like barely KO last time.
Yeah, last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Dustox does pretty decent because Confusion is like ripping apart. It's half health already without the charge move, so it's so much damage.
That's true, but like Memi is in a difficult. I mean, we saw this last game too, right? Like this Galvantula comes out of this matchup with so much health that whatever you bring in is going to be debuffed, or take a lot of volt switch damage.
Yeah.
So luckily, I think for Memi, Mongo's letting the Galvantula go this time. So you're able to maintain swap there. Oh, and you get that Silver Wind boost. Very nice.
So
Get...
I hate to point this out, but there's a Lux Ray there.
A Lux Ray?
I mean, I love it, but it's taking me by surprise. Yeah.
Okay, I did not expect this Lux Ray to be here. All right,
Yeah.
Luxray, definitely can take these volt switches. Getting off that first Psychic Fangs there, and actually, did Memi shield that Psychic Fangs? Or
Yeah, he did, which is weird. Cause...
Okay, very interesting. I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that lens did a lot.
Yeah, but it's not
this
that
wild
tanky.
charge is coming through. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. But it was the Psychic Fangs. Wild charge coming through. Now you're debuffed. You can still barely hang on. Able to get off one last lunge against the Samurott. That's huge.
Yeah,
And then you probably want to switch out.
Yeah, immediately. But no,
Oh,
like
but
he
you
can.
can.
He can. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it
getting Fury
wasn't
Cutter all
that
the way
much
down.
farm.
It wasn't. I mean, a few Fury Cutters on a Hydro Cannon user is not amazing.
Yeah, no, and he's debuffed, and Silio's so chunky he can tank this no problem. Now the
You
thing
can
is,
take this no problem.
Yeah.
So you need to get 2 body slams off on this Samurott, which it looks like you can. Samurott still quite a ways away from the Mega Horn. It doesn't look like the clocks are up for Mongo, so you can't even catch.
Yep. No, he can throw. Yeah, he can take no problem with this Hydro Cannon, and I mean,
Well, you can, but is the clock gonna be up after this Hydro Cannon? You might
yeah,
be able
that's
to
what
swap.
I was thinking.
Oh no, it's
No.
not. But I don't know if Memi knows that. He's probably waiting for the. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was dangerous. I was thinking the same thing. Like, maybe he's gonna wait and he's gonna give Mongo Ketchum a chance. But no.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't
That-
have as much precision on your opponent's switch clock as you have on your own. So if it's just a couple seconds, you might think their clock is up when it's not. But it's okay. Yeah, it was a good win for Memi.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the Lux Ray, and Memi says that he wasn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
Okay,
it's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool. I like it's a cool pick, because it debuffs. So, like it has like a really powerful move, but at the same time a debuff move. So do you shield it or not? It's like really baity.
Yeah. It is, yeah. And the Wild Charge does so much. All right, normal cast form. Looks like we have a shiny cast form here. Very, very
Yeah.
exciting, actually, into the Galvantula. And I mean, I think this is a good matchup for the cast form because the Rock Weather Ball basically takes it out, and you barely outpace to the last one.
Yeah, this is the only shiny cast form we have seen on the tournament, right? Like in the
Yeah,
bench.
it's quite rare. I don't have a
Yeah.
shiny cast form. Oh. Alright,
The-
CMPing on this cross poison. It's actually okay because you do actually at least get to make sure that your charged attack lands on the Galvantula, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, can you farm down with a Galvantula right now? Oh,
I
aggressive
guess we'll never
swap.
find out.
Yeah, that's
But it looks
a
like
really
Mongo
aggressive
certainly
swap.
thought.
Yeah. He didn't want to find out. Like, can he farm me down?
Yeah,
No.
didn't want to find out. Going straight into the mirror match here and taking that lunge, which does a lot of damage. And now you have to throw these inefficient discharges against the Dustox, which is probably just going to confusion all the way down here.
Yeah, 100%. And then, like, yeah, it's gonna be, like, full of energy. Ooh! I thought it's gonna get to a second one. This this is really good
barely
for
died with
Memi.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
do you...
this dust tox is very, very annoying for
Yeah.
sure.
It is. So
I mean, yeah, dust tox might even be able to take the hydro cannon, and Fury Cutter is obviously not adding up very much. Shielding a Silver Wind too, not the best situation.
yeah,
It's like Mongo's farming and farming right before that Sludge Bomb. Perfect counting there. But does Dust Tox survive this Hydro Cannon?
it does.
And
It does.
very comfortably. Okay,
Ooh,
now, ooh.
Yeah, no, I thought Mongo could do like a last minute switch and get and sacrifice the cast form, but
The cast form.
yeah, but it wasn't possible.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay,
the
now we're gonna
farm
find
down?
out whether...
It was
oh,
possible.
wait. But now, oh my, no, but it has a cross poison loaded.
Yeah.
Okay, actually the cross poison made a huge difference here, because if you didn't have cross poison, right? Like, the Samurai would be able to farm down without taking a Volt Switch.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then you can, like, Mega Horn the Ringaroo.
Yeah.
So, I think cross poison actually made the difference there.
It did. And it's so funny that it came back. Like, it came back to the, can it farm it down or not? It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And again, no Oranguru action. Like, it was almost there, but now it wasn't the battlefield.
Yeah, I think Ringaroo is pretty nice, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more, honestly, because, like, it does have a lot of neutral matchups. There's not that much with bug damage.
Well, in these... Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, obviously
pretty
there's
cool.
Galvin, Beedrill, galore, but I think Ringaroo is quite strong.
Yeah, I really like it.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Getting into that next matchup here.
look at that
Yeah,
Litleo.
Castile Rock. Litleo, yeah, Litleo's adorable. I love that pick.
Yeah.
Obviously needs to watch out for the counter users, but I think has a lot of play elsewhere.
No, I think it's pretty good against. I mean, there's, it's. Did Decupai's Blaziken had Fire Spin? I don't remember, because it's not like double counter. So it's pretty tough.
I don't think. I think the Fire Spin might have been on someone else's team, but I could be wrong.
Oh, we'll see, but
I think
okay.
I think we can assume someone will have counter.
It's Basti's Blaziken that has the fire spin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like it's best to play skin. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's double counter, which is pretty frightening for Litleo. But I hope we can still see him in action.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, we have 3 things weak to counter, so I'm not feeling super confident in Litleo ability here. But maybe Castile Rock is braver than we are, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Let's get into it. All right, Heracross into Blaziken. Heracross resisting those counters, of course, and the counters are really chunking away at the Blaziken. Already at half health after just like 6 or 7 counters. I definitely need to shield up this first move from the Blaziken.
Yeah. Oh, so an aggressive swap, so Blaziken doesn't take more damage and he can save his shields for later. That's pretty smart because, you know, Blaziken, if you stay in that match, you're gonna get totally farmed down. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So you get the shield and you leave. I really like that play. And, you know, Castile Rock doesn't have a super amazing answer for this jump bluff, so throwing that Rock Blast first before getting out, I think was a good plan. Because now, oh my gosh, that acrobat
so much damage.
Now, you actually, no, you don't go for the big move yet. Okay, you just throw these lunges. Hopefully you can get both off.
Yeah, but I think, you know, Decupai can just let it go. Oh, okay. Or
yeah,
throw.
I think you might like let it go and farm this down with something.
Yeah.
Because you definitely don't want the Blaziken to farm you down. So
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Countering down here. Ooh.
Ooh.
Alright, looks like you can get this counter down. And this Heracross is actually running close combat. Very interesting. So
yeah, no, and Decupai's in a really, really tough place because there's a ooh, he's gonna lay it down with a cast form in the back.
yeah, now you have to take all of these counters. I mean, are you just hoping that you can tackle this down and
Yeah, he's going for the full tackle.
I'm curious why the charge attack wasn't thrown there. Not I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You can just fast move this cast form down.
Yeah, like double counter threat too. So
Yeah.
whew.
It looks like Castile Rock might take this with 2 shields remaining on Dekupai's side.
Yeah, you know, Decoupage used his only like counter user counter.
Some interesting. Yeah. Wait, did you see that play ref on the Don fan?
Yeah, pretty spicy. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I mean, it does neutral. I don't think there's any steel type. So like, if it's not a fire type, you can do like neutral damage. So it's interesting.
True. I mean, it is cheaper than Earthquake, so maybe there's merit to that.
Yeah. No, I mean, oh, mirror. I hate this. I hate this. Like, it's all about CMP.
It's all about CMP unless you have cross poison.
Yeah,
which neither
okay,
of them
yeah.
do.
Yeah, that's true.
But it
that's
looks
true.
like Castile Rock's Galvantula is going to win CMP here and be able to get off that lunge first. So now you can take this lunge a lot more comfortably than you would have otherwise.
Yeah, like CMP gives so much advantage in this case. So, okay, he's gonna shield anyways. So, oh, an aggressive swap. Does it get to it like... Oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you swap immediately after your own charge attack, you don't usually
you don't lose
take
a
turn to swap.
Yeah.
So it looks like Castile Rock is gonna actually bait the discharge here. Let's see if it gets a shield. If this goes unshielded, that'd be absolutely devastating, I think. And
Yeah,
it does get the shield, and you do swap out into that Dawn fan here. I actually like this because now you know you get to the body slam first, and you don't have to take this blaze kick. So that's very nice.
That's a really great play. Yeah, 100%. Now.
Yeah, and now if there's no jump luff, then your Dawn
But
fan
there-
is cooking.
Yeah, but there is
Unfortunately.
jump love. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
you're now locked in here.
That's why I mean, he's gonna go for body slam because he doesn't have like any shields. But in the case he had shields, then maybe play rough could have been better. Like if you can throw like one move, play rough is better in this case.
Yeah. I think there's just so few situations where you can get off one play ref but not 2 body slams.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit hard to justify, but I mean, I think Tom actually put in work. You can get the clef quite low here. Well, not quite, but you know, manageable health range, and that's good. I think you need some energy on Heracross if you want to win this game.
Yeah. So it's gonna farm.
So much energy.
Yeah, no, it's. Can the Heracross get to a Rock Blast first? I don't think so.
Well, you only need 6 fast moves to the Rock Blast, but the Jump Bluff very wisely overfarmed here.
Yeah.
So
There
unfortunately,
was no
just
way.
gonna be low. Well, fortunately, from some perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, jump bluff, really strong pick. I mean, it's really little. Like, there's not a lot of teams that don't have like jump bluff. Castile Rock didn't have jump bluff, so I think jump bluff is one of the the few Pokemon on this cup that I think it's like almost a must. Like, it's so flexible, does so much damage, and walls a lot of the Pokemons that are used. You know, Donphan and Heracross, and it gives a great fight to a lot of the Pokemon in the meta.
Yeah, and if you're not expecting the Litleo here, I think it's even stronger. Alright, Castile Rock leading Galvantula into Donphan.
Very action.
Not a great lead, but forced to stay in. Unfortunately, Donphan does get to these moves just a little bit faster. Oh my gosh, yes, we do see some Litleo action in the back here.
That's it.
So if it gets aligned on the jump bluff, could be very exciting.
Yeah, like I obviously I won, like my Chilean friends do win, but this time I'm rooting for the Litleo.
Right, and the Galvantula was able to land the big move there, and the Donphan barely able to survive, so getting off this body slam, which is caught on the Heracross. But now the Heracross is locked in against the jump bluff, which is very sad.
Yeah, and this gives the chance of Decoupage to lock Blaziken with the Litleo if things go right, and that's terrible for the Litleo.
Yeah, it is terrible for the Litleo. So you do have about half of a Galvantula left, but I think, a Drag Galvantula versus either a Blaziken or Jumpluff with a little bit of energy is very tough. So if Decoupage is able to just keep over farming here, we'll be in a good position. And yeah, now we see the Litleo. Oh my gosh, Litleo absolutely walled by the Blaziken.
Like almost farmed down. Yeah, it's insane. Oh, it's not gonna shield? No shield? Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't need to shield. It's not just that, the counters are super effective, but just all of Litleo's moves are resisted. Fast moves, charge moves. So very tough position. Galvantula trying to see if it can do anything here, but, no shields. Very difficult position to be in.
No, Blaziken farms so much. Like, that quick swap, like that aggressive swap from the Decoupage, knowing he was locked down, still was so good and farmed down the Litleo. It's like, poor Litleo.
Yeah. Yeah, the Litleo, like we said, just kind of tough to bring. Was probably just hoping to align it with the Jumpluff, but with the double counter, just kind of an unfortunate situation for the little...
I was rooting for it. Wow. No, it is. Like, great plays from both players. Yeah. Really great matches. That was the third one,
great
right?
Players. The gap is back at 7, and looks like we're back with all of our friends
here.
That was tough to watch. Not gonna lie. I said in the chat, and I did my best to Google Translate it since Castiel no hablo inglés. But I love seeing the spice on the movesets. I wanted to see if a Bug Buzz was gonna come into play, but unfortunately, Blaziken in the back when you don't have anything that can actually hurt it with energy.
Yeah.
Really tough to deal with, and Decoupage is not going to let that mistake go unpunished. So, yeah, the Chileans able to restore their advantage. I'm Swaggeron. How are you feeling? Let Jolt know how you're feeling about this matchup right now.
No, obviously I'm happy, but I'm really I'm really happy because the majority of them are my close friends. So great, and it's representative of my country. But I'm really happy too because the level of the plays have been great from both players. I was when you guys were casting, I was really impressed of that Beedrill throwing the disrespectful drill run to the Jumpluff. That play was amazing, amazing. So I'm really happy that they almost give a comeback and make things more interesting, and the level of plays have been amazing.
Joel, would you like to respond?
Well, I kind of have to. Of course, in my honest opinion, Chile has just been playing better. They have superior team comps, but Mexico also is bringing some top tier play. Mongoose catch at the end was amazing, almost getting close to taking another one back, except for that cross poison, which also speaks a little about strategy. And that's something that I like, that a lot of these teams on both sides are very similar. And that means that there's a lot of communication, that means that there's a lot of thinking. And I have really been enjoying the battles. I have been enjoying the chat because Swagger and I know how people from our countries like to spam and just to mess up with each other, even though we're teammates.
Yeah.
So it's been very fun. It's been very fun.
So if you said this is your first Gymbreakers broadcast, how are you feeling watching this action and this interplay between the teammates?
It's really fun. I mostly play factions as a team format, and I think it's just so fun, the banter with your teammates. You have these little rivalries, but of course Pogo is quite a small world, so you often have friends on the other teams as well. And I've also just been really impressed with the level of play. A lot of these games are coming down to CMP or catches, or things just barely surviving with 1 HP. So yeah, I think the level of gameplay is really high, and of course it's always really fun just to see people having fun with each other.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the imagination we're seeing on display here. All these trainers bringing some spice, bringing some new looks, which I love. And if you love raiding or hosting or joining raids and you want an online tool for that, you need to check out Pogo Raiders. which has been optimizing a fully custom raiding organization tool for over a year with over 3,000 raids a day and 150,000 members. If you want to find a raid, you got to try their free raiding tool. They also are a dedicated community of Pokemon Go players. You can join their monthly PvP tournaments with cash prizes. You can find help from some of the best players in the world, along with access to infographics and information about everything upcoming in Pokemon Go. So check them out at pogoraiders.gg or on Discord at discord.gg/pogoraiders. And that kind of segue is why I'm hosting.
Yeah.
So, I think I caught Fish off guard. Just making sure he had to get that out of. So, that's how you know I'm good. That's how you know. But yeah, just like I said, having battled against a lot of these trainers in Gymbreakers format, Chile has been just dominating the matchup against Canada lately. And they're showing why. Just their team comps are on point. They are not making many mistakes for the Mexican side to capitalize on. They're just being very efficient with their moves, being very confident in their team build, and they're just letting it do work here. And it's going to take a Herculean effort from the Mexican side to try and overturn that, knowing that Chile just needs 8 more points to get the we could see a winner in our upcoming sets, Joel.
That seems to be the case, but let's hope not. Let's hope we get the most battles as possible, because even if we end up losing, we still will get to see amazing battles. So that's what we all came here to see, and that's what I'm into.
So I'm going to interrupt. This is FishOnAHeater behind the scenes, the production. The stream can hear me now. I'm just double checking all the scores from the matches we've had so far, and I think I might have actually miscalculated a couple of those. So I believe the score is actually 15-12, a lot closer.
That is a lot closer.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. I don't know where I put 2 wins.
Everything I said, Fish. How dare?
My apologies. Yep, sorry to undermine AJ.
Assuming the
How
I'm
dare?
personally disappointed in the chat not picking it up. I think it's all on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
this does change things. Now, Swagron, do you want to take back anything you said to Joel?
No, I mean, I would, but I know that they're gonna get more advantage right now in the next round, so it's not gonna be needed. I'm not gonna take back things.
He's even more confident now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just so you know, when we met in Monterrey, I told Swagger him my shiny Jinx, but he's pretty much missing the chance to get it anymore. I'm not to him anymore.
I wanna get it myself, and I did, but thank you.
Oh my god. Well, so Swagron, take a break. You're gonna be back now, because we will be having battles if this scoreline is correct. 15-12 for Chile heading into game number 10. Jolt and I will be on the call for this next set of 3. I hope you're ready, Jolt.
I'm always ready.
Alright, we have Emilio against Sylar17 from Mexico making his first appearance in this set of battles, and I think I just have to get Dugong back out and just make sure Dugong presence is known, because Sylar bringing the water ice Pokemon from Kanto. The first time we've seen Dugong all stream, but going against Emilio with that Celio. Celio loves seeing Dugong on the other side, because Celio just dominates that matchup. However, the presence of Dugong will mean Nidoking does not have a free ride like it did in Emilio's first matchup.
Of course, but I'm more scared about Blaziken. Because Blaziken with energy just destroys everything. Blaziken can farm down the cast form, can farm the Dugong, can beat the Bantula, and if it has energy, there's nothing Sylar can do. There's also lack of bulk in Sylar's team outside from Dugong, who super loses hard against Blaziken. So might be a little tough. I think Blaziken cast form might just be too strong to handle.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how those double counters for Sylar are employed. We've seen that Heracross go toe-to-toe with Blaziken and have a favorable advantage just on the Rock Blast, being able to threaten that Blaziken first without having to worry about a charge move priority event. Heracross, I think, is going to be key for Sylar if he's going to put points on the board here, as Dugong is very top-heavy and decides it doesn't want to stay on my shoulder. Y'all know my problems with getting Pokemon to stay on top of me when I want them to, but we will make this happen. So let's just jump into these battles, Jolt. Let's see if Mexico can start queuing the comeback. Oh no, that's a bad lead. Dugong into Celio. Emilio with the clear edge here, Jolt.
Yes, and it's very tough because you do not really want to swap out. So I think at this point you just like super debuff the Celio and try to farm down, or you can swap out.
Yeah,
and
I like that. I like that play, banking the Icy Wind, maybe debuffing something else that isn't Celio. Celio gonna go for this Body Slam here on the cast form, try to chip it, and in comes Nidoking, and this is actually a winnable matchup here for Sylar. If he wants to try and get alignment in his favor, cast form can do it with these normal Weather Balls, doing a chunk of damage to Nidoking.
Yes, but I think it has taken too much damage. I think one Sand to shield enough, but it goes for the nuke. Ooh,
and no shield by Sylar. He's calling the Sand Tomb bait. Emilio revealed Earth Power, and it is enough to eliminate cast form from proceedings. And it's clear Sylar's strategy is to shield Beedrill. We'll see if that holds true. This Dugong should be able to farm down Nidoking. It is, but you know that Celio is coming right back in. And this time Sylar is going to get the debuff on the Celio. Doesn't have to worry about a dang thing here, Jolt.
Yes, of course, but I think the play here is to try to get as many the Celio against the Beedrill, because Jumpluff will get you 2 moves. So I think you just need to get 1 shield down, and then maybe you can try to swap in.
And Emilio's going to go to Jumpluff immediately now after getting that Body Slam damage on there. And this Beedrill has a lot of work ahead of it. The Tejera X coming through. Its only option against this Jumpluff to do some charge move damage. No shield from Emilio. I think Emilio's identified that Celio is the key to victory for him. The first shield going to come up on this Energy Ball bait, Jolt.
Yes, of course. And this is the only correct play because Hyder cannot risk a no shield. So this is the correct play. He will get here. He will leave this Exeter. Jumpluff is tanky. He will leave this and get the second shield. And then when things get pretty tough, and this is an excellent undercharge too.
Yeah, very nice undercharge. It is going to have to shield whatever move is thrown here. And I like that undercharge by Sylar, getting some extra energy on this Beedrill, knowing it has to be able to throw something else at that Celio that has 2 shields to work with here. And the Icy Wind comes right back on Jolt. I think this is what Sylar has to do, get that debuff on early.
Yes, and I think this is key. I think you just debuff twice the Dugong to the point that it does not kill with 1 Body Slam, the Beedrill, and then you might just have enough.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Sylar does go the double debuff route here. That Body Slam does nothing to Dugong. The bulky Manatee just able to weather these blows. The Corporal Punishment means nothing to Dugong as these Body Slams glance off, and we see the energy here. It is going to go for the Water Pulse here, Jolt.
Yes, and this is key because this is just single resisted, and this might put it on Poison Jab range. But Celio cannot from down. You need to throw.
Yeah, absolutely cannot risk taking another move. But Emilio's going to go to 2, and another Icy Wind coming through. Emilio getting greedy, and this Dugong going to make Celio pay with another Icy Wind. The shield goes down. Tejera X comes out, and this might be it, Jolt. This Beedrill has 2 moves.
Yes, and you would even be able to leave a Body Slam because triple debuff. You will definitely live this, and then the other Exeter comes in, even 1 Poison Jab, and the Ice Shard will KO, so yes, yeah. Very well played by Sylar, coming back from a very, very tough lead.
Very well done. I was hyping that at the beginning. Dugong into Celio, a terrible matchup, but Sylar 17, finding a way to make it work as the countdown was on. to time out that match, but just very well done by Sylar, getting the energy needed on Dugong and Beedrill to be able to blunt that Celio's impact and give Sylar the time to be able to take it down. And I love that water pulse throw. When Emilio no shielded that Icy, when you knew the plan was no shield, keep those shields as long as possible for that Beedrill. So that water pulse damage, forcing the shield on the Icy win that came after. Huge play by Sylar going into game 2 as Dugong's gonna fall.
Yes, and we see Nidoking into the cast form, and Emilio has already shown the air towers. We will of course charge to it, but let's see if Sylar chooses to shield this time.
Nope, this cast form gonna get this normal weather ball off on the Nidoking, does a huge chunk of damage to the poison ground type, and again Emilio reaching for that earth power that I am gonna take full credit for because I used earth power Nidoking against Emilio, and Tierra Viva does so much damage to that cast form, and the swap in pits Dugong on Blaziken. This is Trouble Jolt with a capital T.
You just hate the simultaneous swap when you just like go into the hard counter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's how I lost game 3. I simul swapped the cast form in and knew that the Blaziken was in back and I was in trouble. This Blaziken is just gonna go for the Blaze Kick here to take out Dugong. Sylar gonna let Dugong go. Avert your eyes. Patata Inea does enough to dispatch the Dugong, but now the question here is, Jolt, do you get that energy lead on Beedrill again here?
You will need to shield because even debuff this, you will get to shield.
That is,
I think Blaziken lives this. I think Blaziken lives this.
That is a double Blaze Kick we see from Emilio. Can the second Blaze Kick come off here, take that final shield? No, it can't. It was one short. And Beedrill survives the Blaziken onslaught. And now, yet again, Emilio Celio, rhyming with power, gonna come in and try and deal with this Beedrill. The corporal punishment will not be debuffed this time, and the Tejera X draws an early shield here, Joel.
Yes, and that was close being a catch by Emilio. Emilio is smartly straps in, and I think Beedrill might just have enough energy like, to deal with the Celio after the bait that it got. I think.
Yeah,
not sure actually.
I like that swap by Sylar. I don't know about the play going to Nidoking there. The Celio does have 2 body slams. Beedrill still has a shield to work with. No shielding the first one. Daring Emilio to throw an Aurora Beam. It does not come. And now, Emilio building up again to 2 body slams here. This might be enough, Jolt. The final shield is coming out. I don't know if this Beedrill can find the move to get through Celio's defenses here. It needs a lot. Emilio still building up. Does shield the X Scissor, the Tejera X. This does open the door. Can the Taladradora go through? No, it was a charge move priority event. Emilio is going to slam this bee into the ground, and Emilio is going to survive and get the point for Chile.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate move timing. You have to throw before you could get into CMP, but it's a tough match. I mean, both players have been amazing, both with amazing strategies, and this opens a lot of things because I think Blaziken is coming back for Game 3 for Emilio, and I think we might see Heracross here.
Yeah, I mean, Sylar doing everything possible. You could see the difference in timing there in that end game. Neither opponent wanting a charge move priority event. This is bad. Right off the bat, though, for Sylar, Beedrill into Nidoking, knowing that Earth Power is on this Nidoking. It does outpace the Drobrum, but the bait game will be important in this opening matchup.
Very smart here. You gotta keep it safe. You know you can get the shield back after one move as long as you do not get a catch. So I think this was the smart thing to do.
Yeah, and we see Emilio throwing the Sand Tomb here, and a late shield up by Sylar. We are down to 1 shield apiece, but now this Beedrill is debuffed. And trying to catch another Sand Tomb on cast form. Nidoking just gonna bank the energy, though.
Yes, and it was one off. That was a very small miscalculation. Blaziken will be taking a shield back from everything.
No, Blaziken does not shield the first Weather Ball here. So this cast form does do a bit of damage, trying to clear things up in the end game. and Blaziken is going to fire the Blaze Kick here to eliminate Cast Form from the matchup, but this is huge for Sylar because we can see Dugong is sitting in the back. Unfortunately, Celio still lurks for Emilio.
Yes, it feels so tough because I don't think you have a way to deal with the... Oh, this is even tougher. You do not need to shield us, but at this point, I think the Celio just is too healthy.
Oh, it does shield the Blaze Kick. That is an interesting choice, knowing the Nidoking left with energy as we do. Celio coming in, just trying to build up and store those body slams again. They were Emilio's path to victory in Game 2. They may be that path here in Game 3. The Viento Hielo does nothing to the Celio. The attack is dropped, but Jolt, this is a tough road to go on, knowing that that Nidoking is loaded and back.
Yes, it has a full Earth Power ready, and I think this Dugong is getting close to Earth Power range, but Beetle was definitely on it. So, it feels... I am not sure how you can win this match. You would need to get a drill run, try to catch Nidoking on the CMP to avoid that energy from being useful. It just feels tough.
Yeah, and that may be it. There, it's an X scissor throw, and Emilio is gonna shield, aware that the Beedrill was close to the draw, and the Tehera X draws that shield. But now this Nidoking is loaded on energy, and Earth Power is going to eradicate this Beedrill from this matchup. The Tierra Viva Nidoking says Beedrill is no more, and Dugong can try and debuff it here with this Icy Wind. It might actually KO on the Icy Wind, but that's Celio, still very healthy and very capable and very full of energy. And I think this is all over but the shedding of Tears of Ice. Look away, Dugong. We're just gonna put you down here so you don't have to watch that.
Yes, and at this point, of course, they are VMing. Of course, at this point, nothing to do. Dugong really needs help to beat Celio. It can debuff it so the next Pokemon can come in, tank some hits. But at this point, it's been really, really tough to deal with that Celio.
The indignity of going down to an Aurora Beam when you are a Water Ice type that double resists it. Emilio, just very well done, adjusting after that Game 1 loss. Sylar pulled all the tricks out, but was unable to do it in Game 2 and Game 3. That Celio too strong in the back for Sylar's team. And you could see the counter was scared away. No Donphan, no Heracross, and that Celio just had free reign on Sylar's lineup.
Yes, also with the Nidoking, no Galvantula, so no way to stop the Celio.
Yeah, and I think that might have been the overcalculation from Sylar. I think you had to bring in Heracross at some point just to be able to do something to that Blaziken, to that Celio, since they were just running roughshod over that team. You lent one way, and Emilio showed he was going to lean right back. So I think Sylar had to make an adjustment there to try and pull this back, which we're seeing now. It's an 8-point Chile lead. Do we have confirmation of the scores, Fish? So you made me look bad by saying that you made me look bad. How dare! Twice! How dare! Anyway. I know, I'm just like, y'all can't hear Fish, but I can hear Fish, and he knows, he dares. And he will hear from me at the end of it. But, Jolt, this is tough. This is tough now. 8-point deficit for Mexico against this Chilean squad. What do?
It's been tough. I've been in this situation before, and actually on the B team from Mexico, like there were like 2 or 3 rounds in a row that I did not get to play because I scheduled for the last day and match was already over, like similar to this, and I did not play at all. So I've been here before. Let's hope that we can get some points back, make it a little bit closer, more exciting, maybe come back.
Well, we'll see. Emilio is now done his job. He is out for the rest of the battle, just going to watch his teammates go through as Memi Chinflona draws Eduardo Lomas. And Eduardo put in that strong performance in the first match. Memi with that double confusion team with Dustox and Oranguru sitting back there against a triple bug lineup from Eduardo Lomas. And I think you have to be leaning on that Donphan, I think, if you're Eduardo here, Joel, just for how good it is against the majority of Memi's team.
I do not see a single Pokemon that can be the like maybe the Araquanid, but Araquanid is so risky because like you have Dustox, which will be coming in Galvantula, so extremely strong. I do not see a way to stop Double Confusion.
Yeah, Double Confusion is just gonna be so good here. Like it's gonna be Celio maybe to try and blunt the damage. That is the if there is a silver lining here for Eduardo Lomas, Oranguru very slow to its move, 20 turns to get to that Psychic. So that does give you time to operate, and he does have a couple spammy options in the normal cast form, in the Celio, in the Donphan with the Body Slam. There is time to operate, but you have to be very precise and be able to get the damage that you need out there in time. I think that cast form is going to be huge for Eduardo Lomas. If he can keep it away from Blaziken, it can do a lot of work in breaking up that Double Confusion line.
For sure. Hopefully he can manage to save the situation, but let's see the battles.
Let's go into it. Galvantula meets Donphan to start. That's a great start for Eduardo Lomas, forcing in the first Confusion user. There is that Dustox. And we can see Donphan trying to build up a ton of energy here, but this Dustox is going to fire a Silver Wind to start things off, Joel.
Yes, and it's very tough at this point because Body Slams will not be enough. You need to land a huge ground move. You need to land the Earthquake. And a Shield probably ends the game, in my opinion.
He's gonna go for no shield from Memi. This Earthquake is gonna go through the Moto damage to that Dustox, and now Cast Form comes in. It might be able to farm down here with a shield, Joel.
Yeah, definitely. You can let this go. We've seen in previous matchups that it can take it. I think you down and double, Weather Ball, whatever comes in, which will do some damage actually. But I think Galvantula in the back looks extremely strong.
Yeah, this is setting up beautifully for Eduardo Lomas' cast form now loaded with energy. The Galvantula still on the lead, and look in the back there, that Araquanid is licking its lips at the Oranguru that comes in here. This is tough for Memi.
This is actually a very good team read from Memi because Galvantula actually does a lot to the Araquanid. The Araquanid is also water type. So those Volt Switches hurt a lot, and you really need to land the nuke to threaten it. So I think actually this might be more in Memi's favor.
Well, Memi is able to Volt Switch down the cast form before it got to another move. I like the plan, using Oranguru as a sponge there to just take all the damage from that cast form. And now Eduardo Lomas is in trouble, like you said. This Donphan resisting things, but is going to get lunged here. That means these Body Slams are a lot more palatable for this Galvantula.
And it's tough because using the Shielder and coming back Donphan kind of throws away your last Pokemon. You know, it's either the Celio or the Galvantula. Just too strong here. And another cross voice. This is just tough because you need to shield. And
it is no shield though. Veneno X is enough to take out Donphan even with the resistance, and now this Araquanid in tough here and is going to get lunged as well, Jolt. That makes its task against Oranguru very tough, and we haven't seen that Oranguru throw energy either. There's the shield on the lunge. The attack is dropped. This Araquanid trying to do work. Memi trying to get another lunge off, but cannot do so, and is going to shield the Bubble Beam just to get it off here.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. You can swap out and then throw one move with the Oranguru and another move with the Galvantula. You mentioned that Oranguru is slow, but Araquanid is also very, very slow. Bite does not generate a lot of energy. Bakwas takes a lot of energy. This probably will not take it out, but the Galvantula,
it's not even close. That Oranguru does not have the attack strength to deal with it. Bug Bite down is the play. Can this Galvantula get the lunge off? It does. The charge move priority event goes Memi's way, and he overturns what looked to be a lockdown win for Eduardo Lomas into yet another point for this Chilean team. Just, Joel, how can you deal with players who are just that on point with their reads and able to get the most out of their Pokemon?
Yes, and that was actually a very good read by Memi. Like, saving the Galvantula in the back, and coming Oranguru. was very, very smart. But it's very tough team comp-wise. It feels like Mexico has not really had a chance to play on a fair footing. It just feels like you have nothing against our Confusion. Maybe with this lead you can do it, maybe.
Yeah, well, we see single confusion this time for Memi. Dustox on the lead against Araquanid here, with Blaziken and Galvantula lurking in the back, while Eduardo has Donphan and Cast Form waiting this Araquanid. Going to try and debuff this Dustox to start things off. Leo Burbuga does draw an instant switch here, and now Cast Form gets to go to work against this Galvantula, knowing that it just has Lunge and Cross Poison.
And actually, this no shield is very dangerous. Down.
Yeah, the Lunge taking that Cast Form down to about a third of its health. These Volt Switches are chunking, but Eduardo drawing the shield here on the Weather Ball Rock. Memi protecting this Gal, knowing that he needs the alignment to keep Blaziken away from that Araquanid.
Cross Poison is coming so clutch in this matchup. So clutch.
Yeah, and Memi even undercharged that just in case to try and get an extra Volt Switch in, but now he's going to have to invest his final shield if he wants to keep this Galvantula alive, and he does. He is going to maintain alignment here, but is now shields down with a Blaziken that really, really likes shields.
Yeah, and that's the problem with those so-called counters, when you have to shield first, and then the opponent can choose not to. Then you lose the matchup and it becomes very hard. Even Donphan here will considerable damage by this launch. It will get debuffed and it feels tough. I think this shield just might not be good enough here. Like,
and I think that was a miscalculation by Eduardo Lomas. It has to throw the final shield here to protect the energy on this Donphan. It does get the counter down, but at a huge cost. And now Dustox comes back in. Another Earthquake will be thrown, but this is debuff Jolt. This isn't going to do the damage that Eduardo Lomas wants it to do. And Dustox tanks it like a champ and now has so much energy here for the back end.
Yes, it's very, very tough. Dustox is very bulky, and even though Earthquake is a very strong move, Donphan has a good attack stat, Dustox has just too much play, because in order to beat it, Araquanid will probably need a buff, and we have full HP Blaziken in the back. One Blitzkick will be enough after the damage Dustox does. So I think...
Yeah, Memi maybe wishing Brave Bird was on here just to make it open and shut. This Araquanid is going to get the first Bubble Beam off. Blaziken can't tank much, but it can tank a Bubble Beam from an Araquanid. No problem. And yeah, this is jam done. This bug about to be roasted by Blaziken. And that will do it. And Memi puts another point on the board here against Mexico, Jolt. Just a tough comp to deal with there. And that shield having to go up on the Galvantula, it basically sealed the deal for me. I think you have to throw the body slam there just to make sure you didn't have to give up that shield in the end game.
Yes, but it still would have been tough because Dustox is just too bulky and you do not have super effective moves with anyone but Cast Form and Heracross. So it's very tough to bring it down, actually.
Yeah, and you're not putting Heracross in against this. Eduardo Lomas going to Donphan to start and actually swaps immediately into the Cast Form to draw out Blaziken. I kind of like this play, except I can see what Memi's got in the back, and I don't think that's going to work as well as Eduardo Lomas is hoping.
Yeah, I agree. These have been some very, very matchups. Like, the idea is okay. Like, play AVV, draw the Blaziken, and this is huge weather ball.
That is a huge weather ball to get to indeed. Cast Form firing off, drawing the second shield from this Blaziken. Again, Memi going 2 shields down to protect alignment, knowing that it's going to be important with that Donphan on the lead. And Donphan's going to come back out here, get some energy. It knows now Earthquakes will be unimpeded. And this fire move from the Blaziken, the Blast Burn is shielded by Donphan. Huge shield there.
But this is over. I mean, if Eduardo was counting, he would have known Blaziken would have reached for, and at this point, it is just over because Dustox probably wins the zeros against his Donphan, and Galvantula just needs one move against the Cilio.
I mean,
Well, it does not have discharge, that's true.
we'll have to see. It is not a discharge. Galvantula, Donphan getting the Teramoto off, doing that huge chunk to the Dustox, and instantly Galvantula going to come in against the Cilio that doesn't have to worry about a discharge, but these lunges, Jolt. I don't know if it takes 2 of them with the Volt Swip damage.
I think this is even worse because I think it can get farmed down. So by not having super effective damage on the charge, Galvantula, I'm not sure, probably Galvantula can take 2? Farm down and throw a launch to the Dumpfin?
I don't think it can. We'll have to see. It's gonna fire the cross poison, but I don't know if there was a delay there, but the Cilio is gonna get its body slam off. I don't know if that was maybe a one turn delay, but Memi's just gonna let that go. I think that's gonna be a dispute, if I know Memi. This Dustox just gonna take the body slam there. I think there's a case there, Joel. You don't expect Cilio to win a charge move priority event against a Galvantula. Didn't look like Memi's move actually fired, which I think led to that. But one counter from this Donphan is gonna end this matchup.
Yes, counter went through and it will be out for the Dustox. It looked very, very strange here. Oh, with no dispute necessary. It laid the counter.
Wow, Memi might still win this! Because no dispute necessary! Doesn't even matter, Dustox that tanky.
Wow. I mean,
Memi cares not. Memi says, Dustox, do your thing. And as you pointed out, Chill, from the start, Dustox just too strong against this Mexican team comp, and Memi picks up another point for Chile, and they are within range. If they get a sweep next time out, they're gonna get this.
Yes, it's been tough, and actually makes me sad about how hard it is to get Dustox. You need to get a hundo, and then you need to have the luck that it goes Dustox and not Beautyfly. So props to them for having one and actually using it. So it was very tough team come for Eduardo Lomas. I mean, he's my teammate, of course, but I am not very fan of the teams Mexico has brought here at all.
Yeah, these triple bug teams relying on cast form essentially to protect them against their threat have really backfired, with the Chileans bringing Blaziken, bringing double confusion, and these bugs aren't operating like bugs. Joel, like Araquanid is probably the only one we've seen that actually operates like a bug, but Galvantula operates like an electric user, Beedrill operates like a poison user, Heracross operates as a fighter. None of these are great against confusion, and you're not going to stick Beedrill in there to try and farm up against an Oranguru when it's taking like 20% of its health from a confusion. It's just not a winning formula here, and Chile is taking full advantage of this going forward, as we seem to have lost Jolt's camera, but
I'm still here, I think.
Yeah, Jolt's still here. You can hear him. You don't need to see him. It's fine.
If I'm having some technical issues that I'll be solving as fast as possible. Just allow me one brief moment.
It's alright.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if someone's available, yes, but I can.
Maybe more plans from the Chileans. Are we putting Spygron in or Sophen? Yeah, alright.
Perfect.
Well,
Ooh.
Basti and that Fire Spin Blaziken are back in action against Sylar 17. Sylar did very well in the battles against Emilio, but still came away with a 1-2. Gonna have to find at least 1 point to keep this matchup alive for Mexico and Chile. Again, this triple bug lineup from Mexico that they've been putting out has been feasted upon by the Chilean side. And again, Celio against Dugong means that Dugong is not a safe swap, and I will bring Dugong back out, but just know Dugong, this is gonna be rough if you get matched up against Celio again.
Yes, and this is actually tough because Farskin Blaziken, I think, might lose the cast farm matchup, but it probably still beats Dugong, so it looks kind of tough, to be honest, for Sylar. Of course, Galvantula can still do a lot of things with energy. Has to keep shields for it, but the basic
Joel,
is just strong.
Joel, you're looking so much better.
Oh yes, I know. Way better here. I'll be back in a moment.
Alright, so while
Alright,
Joel
I'm
is
just briefly subbing in here, so don't worry. I feel like you guys watched through the tea.
I appreciate.
No
Hey, all girls at PvP casting team. Hell yeah, I am on board for this. So yeah, so if you called some of these matchups earlier. What can Sylar do here to try and turn this tide and keep this match alive for Mexico?
I mean, 11-22 is a pretty despondent place to be in, but I think this matchup looks okay for Sylar. Like, the Galvantula looks pretty safe. Obviously you need to watch out for the cast form, but if you're like ahead on energy, you do get to your charged attacks more quickly. What else do we have here?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that Donphan is not safe with Jump Pluff on the other side with Samurai. Even Celio being able to do super effective fast move damage back at Donphan with those powder snows. I think Heracross has to play a big role here from Sylar if Mexico is going to be alive for match number 13. It's going to come down to keeping that Heracross in a position to do work enough to overcome this team deficit we see and not let that Beedrill get too far ahead for Basti.
Yeah, I think you need to be a little bit lucky, and like as you just mentioned, like there's nothing on Sylar's side that like walls the Beedrill's energy, right? Or like can comfortably like farm it down. So yeah, it's definitely a tough position to be in, but I'm sure Sylar will do their best.
We will have to see as we go into game 1 here. Set number 12, Chile needs 3 points to clinch victory. That's a strong start for Sylar, seeing cast form across from Heracross, and now Beedrill is going to come in and start getting that energy, so.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you needed. You needed that good lead, and I like this throwing the Rock Blast before the Beedrill gets to a charge move, so you're sort of taking advantage of the desynced fast attacks and then going straight into that cast form, getting a very fast swap there. And now you can threaten this Beedrill because it has a shield gone with your Weather Ball.
Exactly, and cast form can comfortably tank a drill run. Maybe the only thing on Sylar's side that can take the Taladradora no problem. And instead, now Beedrill gonna spam this X-Scissor out as well to try and do damage. Again, no shield from Sylar, just letting cast form soak up all this Beedrill's energy and threaten this final shield with another Weather Ball that is gonna be shielded.
Yeah, I think, it would have been nice to get the Weather Ball off before the Beedrill threw a move, just, in case they let it go. But I think it's okay. This way you come out with 2 shields, and you still have a very tanky Dugong back there that you probably want to bring in now.
Yeah, and we can see this Dugong has a lot more play than it did against Emilia, with Celio not present on Basti's backline. Dugong just gonna tank an X-Scissor here, no problem, and looks to farm down with these ice shards. I think it's gonna have to take another X-Scissor, so, but this energy is gonna be so huge in the end game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see that Jump Pluff in the back there, and obviously, Dugong can do very well in that matchup. And I like this aggressive swap, getting a little bit ahead on energy, but now you're locked in against the Jump Pluff here, so getting a little bit complicated now. But the Jump Pluff is at 0 shields. The Fairy Winds are not doing a ton of damage, so the Heracross can potentially take out the Jump Pluff if it is able to land the big move, I think.
Yeah, it's going to need to. I mean, 2 shields still up for Sylar. One of them's going to come here on the Energy Ball, Basti, knowing that a shield has to come at some point, saving that 5 energy here, and getting another Energy Ball off. That is huge, so...
Yeah, the Heracross forced to throw up that last shield, and, I think he might have held off on throwing the charge attack until the Jump Pluff was in Rock Blast range, but now I think, you can come out of this matchup with a little bit of energy. There's still that full health cast form in the back on Basti's side, which is going to be very annoying to deal with, but if you can land, like, the Mega Horn or something, I think that would be absolutely huge. And of course, you do not want that Beedrill to be taking a charged attack from you at this point.
No, and you can see Sylar desperately trying to get Dugong in here against the cast form. Does not throw the energy. That is huge. Now this debuff is going to stick to this cast form and make this a bit more manageable here on the back end for this Dugong. With that attack debuff on here, there is a chance for Mexico to pull this out of the fire. A second Icy Wind before this cast form can find a move, so...
Yeah, I think that failed swap was just like a huge moment here, because now, I mean, the Heracross has a move loaded, right? And the cast form is trying to farm up, it's trying to double up, because your only chance is if the Heracross doesn't have a move. But I think the Heracross still has a Rock Blast, so I think Sylar actually has this one.
Heracross did indeed leave with the Rock Blast. Sylar knows it and is going to fire it, and just... Dugong did well. Dugong did well to set up that endgame. And Sylar picks up a huge point for Mexico. There will be no celebrations after set 12. Chile can only get to 24 and a potential lock tie here. So just very well managed and very good patience in that endgame, not throwing that Icy Wind until the Beedrill made its appearance and got Ice Shard down.
Yeah, that was absolutely a huge moment. And I think, you know, the Dugong absolutely put in work there. Like you said, a very bulky Pokemon on Sylar's side. And, you know, when you're building these teams of 3, it's not just about typing coverage, but you also want to think, you don't want to bring 3 Pokemon that all need 2 shields, right?
Exactly. It's why I dropped Galvantula for Charge-a-Bug on my Polkadot team. Beedrill on...
So actually...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Beedrill on Celio was a favorable matchup for Sylar. We saw the Celio come in immediately from Basti, but he's met by the cast form here. Going for this Aurora Beam early, though.
Yeah, Aurora Beam does do more damage, and the cast form, of course, able to fire off these super effective weather balls, but still going to need 2 charged attacks to take out, and the Celio probably going to be just looking to do damage with a Body Slam and a bunch of Powder Snows now.
Yeah, and this cast form now in Body Slam range. Still no shield from Sylar, just not valuing cast form's health at all. I do not blame them. But it is going to get the second Weather Ball off, and that is what Sylar needed out of this cast form to take out the Celio and maybe free things up for Dugong to wreak havoc again in the endgame here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we don't see, you know, the Blaziken or anything on Basti's side, so I think the Dugong has a lot of play here. Beedrill just getting a couple of poison jabs there, so not a huge farm down. And I like throwing the Icy Wind here, because now the Beedrill is going to say, well, I don't want to throw my energy at you while I'm debuffed, and probably has to swap out.
Yeah, and we see that immediately from Basti. The cast form does come in. Unfortunately for Sylar, cannot go immediately into this with those super effective Rock Weather Balls, so is going to get the debuff off first, and that is a huge debuff to get on this cast form before it can throw a move.
Yeah, absolutely. And that cast form, you know, is locked in for another, 40 seconds or so. So it's really nice getting that Icy Wind off early and before this Weather Ball comes through.
Yeah, and now that Sylar knows Basti's lineup, again, no shielding this Dugong is going to give all shields to the Beedrill in the back. Might throw it up here, just got the Icy Wind against... No, still gonna give it all to Beedrill, and I do not blame him. I think Beedrill can poison jab through the rest of this team. I don't think shields are gonna be any valuable to Basti here. We see the first shield from Sylar, but again, I think poison jab down is the play for the Mexican battler.
Beedrill actually still has a decent amount of health and energy, so I don't think it's quite over here. If you can get off 2 charged attacks, going for the bait here first. Unfortunately, it looks like Basti's Beedrill does lose CMP. So, and I think Sylar's Beedrill might still be able to take a drill run, actually.
Yeah, it can take a drill run from this range, and Sylar may have to make the call here. Does make the call, takes the Meta X, and I think that might do it. So, because Basti's Beedrill is definitely in X scissor range. Yeah, this Tejera X is going to get the shield from Sylar. Final shield up for the Mexican side. There are 2, but we just saw Sylar's Beedrill tank an X Scissor like a champ, and I don't think Basti's Beedrill is going to be able to do the same here, even with the X Scissors flying back and forth. These bees aerial combat is going to come down to just 1 X Scissor more, and Sylar's Beedrill is going to take this one here and put another point on the board for Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely huge plays here from Stylar. The bait call there and getting the advantageous lead the first game, I think is really, really important here to keep Mexico in the game. So
Yes.
really good plays from Stylar. Very impressive to come back like that.
Sylar's reads have been on point in this matchup against Bassi, and Bassi's reluctance to bring that Blaziken has not paid off with the Dugong sitting back there, the cast form sitting back there. Sylar's gone weak to counter in the back, and Bassi has not brought in the counter use, and we know it's not a counter user. And Sylar knows it's not a counter user because Bassi showed it's a fire spin Blaziken. So this double resisted backline. The Blaziken is on the lead here though, and Sylar immediately swaps, knowing that it's fire spin on cast form.
Yeah, it's very unconventional there. You see the Beedrill swapping out and the cast form swapping into the Blaziken, but as you mentioned, it's, fire spin, so that's definitely correct here. And it looks like Bassi decided to chip the cast form before swapping into the mirror there.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. Get the damage on while you can. They know that you do not have the counter available for this backline, so just get some moves off. And this is a huge throw by Bassi, cutting off that energy. Sylar again going to let this cast form go. Huge undercharge by Bassi, but it's not enough. No extra tackles there, so.
Yeah, and I think this is just going to be an uphill battle for Sylar here. Not able to maintain swap and probably going to have to take a charge attack from... Okay, no. Yeah, throwing the energy before the cast form is able to get off a move. But, you come out of this matchup with really no advantage and you're still, going to be aligned with that Blaziken.
Yeah, it's an unconventional Blaziken to be sure. You see Sylar hammering on that Dugong to put it in here to at least resist the fire damage a little better than that Beedrill could ever dream. And this
That's right.
Blaziken...
I mean, you do take neutral damage from those fire type attacks, but and your ice types attacks are resisted too. So this is actually quite an interesting matchup here. Going to be debuffing the Blaziken. I think the Blaziken can take this and possibly still get off another charge attack.
It can, but no dice for Bassi, going right into that Beedrill, hoping to get a lead. Instead, is going to get debuffed here, so, and this is going to set up Sylar's Beedrill very nicely in the mirror.
That's right, but I think Basti is going for a big farm down here, hoping to get off maybe 3 charge attacks on the opposing Beedrill to try and finish out the game. But the problem is, like you mentioned, you're debuffed, so now this Beedrill can actually comfortably take a move, even if it's a drill run. I think you survive this nicely now. The question is, would you survive the fast attacks afterwards?
We'll have to see, but Sylar makes the call that the drill run was going to be the first move out. No shields the second one, though, thinking that the X-Scissor is next. Instead, another Taladradora, but it's very well weathered by this Beedrill. I don't think it gets another move off, so... Oh, it's just barely going to get there.
Last move.
Barely
gets
going to
off
get
this
there.
last X-Scissor.
This is going to come
right.
down to, can Beedrill survive a fire spin? And no, it can, but it doesn't fire the moves. And this Blaziken gets the Blaze kick off, and Basti picks up a huge point there with 1 HP left on that Blaziken. The fire spin Blaziken finally pays off in the 6th and final match for Basti, getting that point for Chile and putting them 2 points away from the diamond title here. I'm sorry, Dugong, you did your best, but just unable to overcome alignment.
Put in a lot of work there.
Yeah.
But
Dugong,
yeah, that game ended up being very, very close, for sure.
Yeah, Dugong did make it possible, but like you said, that farm down on the Beedrill was crucial. I think Sylar had to make the call in the end there. Just how close that Blaziken was to getting its move. I don't think he thought he'd survive the fire spin, but unfortunately, it did. And then that gave the Blaziken enough energy to have that move. Just a series of unfortunate events in the end there for Sylar.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think the Blaziken is literally 1 HP, then maybe you throw a charge attack through the shield, but it was probably like 2 or 3 HPs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those instant calls you have to make. Like, do you throw the double X scissor? Are you going to get both X scissors off? And yeah, just it's a tough read to make in the throw of gameplay. So cannot blame Sylar for that one. I don't know if Jolt is back or it's just gonna be you and Swagron. Alright, well, Soph, I'm gonna keep you here while I take break and drink my Coke. And Swagron's gonna come back in here, and he's probably just chomping at the bit to call a potential Chilean championship here in this next set.
All right, thanks for
Yo.
casting with me, and welcome back, Swagron.
Yo, hey, we're so close. Yeah. No, but you know what? You know what? The Mexican team is hanging out there. It's it's tough being like 3 points away, but like winning two points in that match, I think it's like for the team, it's like a batch of fresh air. You know, they can like breathe a little bit, and that was a pretty good set of battles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you went like 1-2 there, you know, it's pretty much over. But now maybe there's like a small glimmer of a hope that you can, you know, take 12 points before the other team takes 2, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, like if it can be done, like there's hope, you know. Yeah, there's still possibility.
There's hope, yes.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna watch Quack Power versus Ice Crease right now, or is this like the old teams? Okay. So, well, I think like at this point we've watched and like every team. I don't think it's like we don't need to talk about them anymore. But I think like the battles and decisions that the player takes and the moment are the things that are gonna make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, everyone knows everyone's movesets, so you're just like, there's no excuses, there's no surprises, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's go with the battles.
Yep.
Ooh,
It looks like
okay.
we're watching Ice Crease's perspective. Jump bluff into Samurott, a very, very good lead for that jump bluff. And the Samurott's actually going to be staying in for a little bit here.
Yeah, so... Ooh, that's what I want to say. Like, does he doesn't have, like, anything, or he's gonna do a catch or something? Well, he caught it. He caught it. And you know what? Like, that, Castform, Castform is a pretty tanky Pokemon, you know? It's weird that it's so tanky.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's tanky, but it's not squishy. So yeah, I was able to take that energy ball no problem. Certainly better than a Samurott would have been able to take a super effective weather ball. But it's still going to be a difficult position for Quack Power, I think, because even though you do have all that energy on the Samurott, it's still going to have to, well, maybe take out this Castform, and then, you know, you would still be aligned with the Jump Bluff later. Yeah,
no, and Ice Crease Castform has energy, so you're gonna receive damage. Well, not, or you can use your energy. So it's like you don't have like you used everything that you have, like you saved with the sack swap on that Castform. So it's not that of a good position.
Yeah, actually, I think because, you know, you're more threatened by the energy ball from the Jump Bluff than the energy from the Castform. Might have been worth just taking a move and farming up a little bit more there. But this is good timing here, throwing right before the Jump Bluff gets to that second energy ball. And Jump Bluff actually choosing to shield here. You do take that comfortably, but, you know, preserving health for a possible Beedrill or something with fast move pressure, I think that's very heads up play by Ice Crease.
Yeah. So now, ooh, no, there's no shield. Almost one-shot it. Okay, I think there's no turning back there. Like that was the decisive factor. Like,
I mean, okay, so look, the Samurott is up a shield here. I think the Jump Bluff is approaching Mega Horn range, and
yeah, but
you know, there's still that Celia on the back.
Yeah, and the defense fell. He debuffed.
I think, you know, sometimes when you're in a very bad position, maybe your only hope is to call a bait or something, right? So if the Beedrill had called an energy ball bait, I think that could have like potentially swung the entire game, right?
Yeah, no. If he caught a bait, that was it. You know, he risked it. It didn't pay off. It hurt to watch, but you know, you gotta risk it. Oh.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Samrot not able to close this one out. So, you know, 1 point there for Ice Chris, 1 point for Chile, and looking a bit sad for our
Yeah,
hope.
like match point, like 1 point away from winning. I mean,
yeah. Well, you know, you can still 12-0 from here, right?
yeah, I mean, you can, yeah, 100%. But you know what? I think that what I've been like saying generally, of course, it's not like in every match, but I think Chileans, like the Chilean team, have like the upper hand in team comp, and that's why they're doing like better like alignment.
Yeah. All right, getting into this next match, we see Ice Chris leading Celio into Donphan. Both sides doing super effective fast move damage. And Donphan firing off that first body slam here.
Yep. The thing is that the Polluters now like already has like the Donphan in half health. It's amazing how much damage it does. So even though counter is super effective, I think like Celio does pretty well.
It looks like Celio is winning the zero shield situation here, like straight body slam, which is quite impressive. And able to take switch advantage with that Donphan going down there. And you do have a little bit of health, so possibly able to get off another charge attack, but actually going to aggressively swap into the Blaziken, met by the B drill here. And you know, you did swap first, so you get to that Blaze Kick first, which is very nice, but the counter is not doing a ton of damage to B drill.
Yeah, I know, but it's gonna force some shields or to throw the B-drill synergy. So it's like you can manage what you want. You know, if you wanna like gain like make the opponent use his shields or maybe like gain energy advantage or something like that. So he's in a good position, I think.
Yeah, I think the B drill is probably just gonna shield and try to farm all the way down here, but the thing is, you come out with a lot of energy, but the jump left can pretty easily absorb it, and you get taken out by an acrobatics, right? So you need to probably, you know, maybe dump all your energy and then switch out before you get taken out.
Yeah, definitely. So the clock, the switch clock could be up right now. So we could see like if he sacrifices the Pokemon in the back and absorbs an acrobatics, it could be it. Oh, there it goes!
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is good. I mean, you definitely needed this catch, or you needed the energy to land here. Bring the cast form into the jump left here. But the cast form still has to put in a lot of work here. Jump left still has a shield, and there is still that Celia with about 25% health in the back. Cast form getting off this first charge attack here, possibly going to force a shield.
Yeah, but it's still tough because Jumpluff has to do all the work. You know, he has to farm till 2 charge moves and resist the poison jabs that the Beedrill's gonna throw at him. So I don't think it's gonna be stable.
I think Quackfire, Quackfire definitely has this one. I mean, Jumpluff cannot double up on charge attacks, and then the Beedrill can just come in and do 1 poison jab to win this. So, you know, Quackfire keeping it alive here. Very nice.
Yep. Keeping the Beedrill alive was smart. But you know what? The cast form, I didn't remember that the cast form had that much health. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that acrobatics catch was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So very nice play by Quackfire.
Yeah, amazing. So, the Mexican team still stands under the pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, I mean, every point, it's a match point right now. So it's like you gotta give everything. You gotta risk it. You gotta play like as good as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Looks like Ice Chris is leading that shiny Celio into an opposing Beedrill here. And they're gonna have a charge move priority on this first attack coming through. Could be a dual run.
It was. Ooh, it does a ton of damage, but you know what? Like, the body slam spam is real. Like the Celia spams so hard, and the fast move damage is not that bad either. So it's like, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like Quackpower went for the swap into cast form, but this is looking very bad now because now you're locked in against this Blaziken, which is just going to farm you all the way down most likely, and it's going to be really, really hard to deal with that charged attack, or with this charged attack afterwards.
Yeah. Can he get to another Weather Ball? Ooh, he didn't risk it.
Ice Chris thought so.
Yeah, he didn't risk it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to like use two shields. Ooh!
Oh.
So he did get to one.
He did, yeah. It's about the same pacing for one Weather Ball as it is to a Blaze Kick. Looks like Blaziken's going to be throwing up that second shield here, but can probably get it back on whatever comes in, unless Quackpower wants to completely sacrifice something.
Heracross. Okay, so he needs to shield or sacrifice the Heracross. I don't know.
Yeah, but then you just get taken out. I mean, you're gonna need to sac swap at some point because you definitely can't take out this jump bluff before it gets to an acrobatics.
Yep. So can Quackpower do another sac swap? The miraculous sac swap.
Surely Ice Chris will, you know, throw the acrobatics again, not remembering at all what happened last time.
I mean, yeah.
Alright, here comes. You have to swap here.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
it looks like, yeah, both trainers thought of it.
Yeah, I know. Ice Chris learned from the last match.
Yeah, and now you have the acrobatics banked, so I don't think there's any way for Quackpower to take this one.
Yeah, no. No, there's no way.
Unless...
No.
Okay, there's no unless.
There's no unless. No, but I mean, pretty good matches, pretty good battles. It was intense, but today I think the Chilean team like was in another level. They played like it's not that no one played bad, but I think like they made less mistakes, you know, because in this level, like any mistake you make, it's an opportunity for your opponent. So it's like that's the difference.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very impressive. And I think the Chilean team played extremely cleanly all around, like swapping at the perfect time just to make sure you outpace or something, right? Like that kind of little adjustment like makes a big difference in the long run.
Yeah. Just congratulations to the Chilean team on a very well played Diamond final there. They take the Diamond trophy back to Santiago. They can display it during that regional, you know, once it actually exists. But yeah, you know, the Mexican team, gotta give them credit. They fought to the very end. You saw Quackpower just try to make those catches, try to make things happen for his side, but in the end, that early deficit just they weren't able to reel that back in without, you know, Fish, you know, giving them a free 2 wins. But no, just too tall a hill to climb with those team comp advantages that we saw. The Mexicans relying on those triple bug lineups, and Chile just like, all right, cool, here's cast form. What are you gonna do about it? But yeah, very, very well done by the Chilean side. They get to hold that going into the next cycle, which will be Arcana and Innocence, which has banned all my ice types. So, you know, I am really looking forward to that. Any final thoughts on the matchup here? So Swaggeron, I know you talked about it during that end game there after the failed catch, but any final thoughts?
I mean, I think
it's really impressive.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say, yeah, you know, Mexico was down like 2-9 or something really early on. So for the final score to be 14-25, like they definitely like, you know, came back a little bit and didn't just like fall apart. Absolutely, like those games at the end were very close. But I think those like double confusion users from a couple of the Chilean side like put their opponents in a really difficult position because a lot of the Mexican players didn't even have anything resisting confusion. So you just have so many options as the double confusion user in those matchups. So pretty difficult.
By the way, shout out to Brave Soul 99 who gets a championship trophy without having to do a single match. So, Very well done. Very, very efficient from Brave Soul. I like that. But yeah, we are not going to be done. That was the Diamond Finals of Gymbreakers Diamond, the second tier. We are going to have Platinum action in Polkadot for you on this channel starting on Saturday. It is going to be the bronze medal match between Silph's USA and India. India going for its first ever A-level medal here, trying to take down the Americans who did beat them earlier in a qualification match in Polkadot. So India will be looking for revenge there. May 6th at May 4th at May 6th at 6 UTC. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right, Fish. I know that. And then after that, on Sunday, it will be the grand final of the Master Tier. It will be Italy against Brazil, two of the most dominant forces, the most dominant countries we've seen in Gymbreakers lately. They will be going head-to-head again for that Grand Master title. I will be here. I'm sure there will be other people. I don't want to say anything for Swag and Silph, and I definitely can't say anything for Jolt. Jolt's not here. But, so SwagRyan, it's been a pleasure. Let's get some promotions in since y'all took the time to be here. Soph, let's start with you.
Oh yes, I'm SophToph. Feel free to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SophToph, no underscore. And on Twitter, Soph_Toph, if you want to keep up with me. I stream occasionally, and I tweet sometimes. So feel free to follow me, and looking forward to connecting with you guys.
Swagron, your turn.
Okay, so I'm in any like social media platform. I'm Swagron, but with number threes like Swagron 333, and like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and I post like Pokemon Go videos like 3 to 4 times a week, and stream like the other like half of the week. So content every day. That's it. Thank you for having me.
Jolt019. Very well said, Jolt. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be on the broadcast here on Pallet Town PvP on Saturday, on Sunday. Watch me instead of Portland, definitely. If you want to see more of me, you know, being my usual charming self, I am streaming on Twitch. I've been streaming pretty much every day this year because I am a mad woman. But I will be live tonight on my channel, Final Boss AJ. We will be doing little cup sets, and I will be hunting Bronzor because I take great joy in defeating that coin into the ground. And then you can check me out. I still have a Twitter, despite Elon Musk taking away my check mark. I just really don't care about it anymore. But I'm on there at A_J_Andrews. The underscores are there because Twitter isn't always dumb. So, just want to thank the people behind the scenes, FishOnAHeater, handling production tonight, as per usual, on Pallet Town PvP. If you don't know Fish's socials and you're here by now, I don't know what you're doing. Also want to thank our editor, Matthew Breaker, for all the work that he has done on this broadcast. And yeah, we can find someone to raid here. Okay, we're raiding Rise to Occasion. Never mind. But again, SwagRyan, it's been a pleasure. Jolt, I'm sure, would say the same thing if he were here.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for having us.
But yeah, have a good night. I'll spam those emotes in Rise's chat, and we'll do this again on Saturday. So, take care.